I, Dr. Khushbu Tripathi, welcome you all in the second day of FDP in recent advancement innovations, future trends in emerging technologies, and their impact on higher education. Today we have with us Dr. Mani Madhukar from IBM India, who is going to deliver the hands-on practice on the topic AI for AI. Dr. Mani Madhukar is a program manager in IBM India Private Limited. He is a practitioner and leader with 15 plus years of experience in EdTech, proven record of driving innovation and disruption in education sector through technology. Sir is a part of global university programs team at IBM India. Dr. Mani is passionate about learning and sharing knowledge and has deep expertise in designing, implementing, and scaling national level skills building educational and training programs for future workforce. Dr. Mani Madhukar has done Doctor of Philosophy from Banasthali Vidyapeeth, and he has also done Executive Program in Management from McIntyre School of Commerce, University of Virginia. Sir has earned many certifications, among them few are related with AI, AI ethics, cloud, blockchain, etc. Dr. Mani is handling many sessions, theoretical to hands-on all over the India. With these words, I would like to request you, sir, for today's session, AI for AI. Over to Mani, sir.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. And thank you for your invitation this morning.
Thank you so much, sir, joining today.
Yeah, it's always a privilege to talk to faculty members. And, I really look forward to this conversation with you. Let me start sharing my screen and maybe we can have a conversation. So I'll try to talk about, using how are we using AI for that matter, and in that reference I'll talk about a service called Auto AI on IBM Cloud. There are similar services available on almost all the cloud vendors, which basically help a researcher or a developer while using low code, no code solutions. So it's primarily aimed at that segment. I also would like to have you do something along with this. It's very easy because, as I mentioned, it's low code, no code platform, right? So we would like you to do some hands-on along. It's very easy to do. Having said that, the prerequisite is you should be able to, you should have registered already on IBM Skills Build and thereafter have taken access to IBM Cloud, which is anyways available at no cost. Only thing is you need an institutional email ID to register. You can't register using a Hotmail Gmail ID. Since it's something which IBM sells to our clients, but for academia, it is available at no cost. Why? Because they can use it for teaching, learning, and research purposes. And that's why the only barrier here is an institutional mail ID, right? Your college mail ID, for example, at the rate ggn.amity.edu, right? So if you use that mail ID, register on the portal, you get access to whatever we're going to talk about today. Feel free to put in your questions here on the chat. I'll be more than happy to sort of take those up in case you already have encountered some issues. We'll address those in a while, right? So why do we actually need to discuss about this topic, first of all, right? Let's try to grab that piece and then we'll go and check on the portal. How do we register? What are the problems we are facing and all? So if you see around, right, and this is a slide I've been using for a couple of years, but it always is meaningful. The reason is, if you see around us, the way businesses have been, conducting for themselves for years, they have really underwent a lot of transformation, right? Maybe whatever industry you look around from your point of view, right? Whatever you're familiar with. So these are just a few examples like Airbnb, Alibaba, Facebook, Olas and Ubers of the world. Now, taxis we have been using for hundreds of years, right? Taxis had been there the way, but the way Ola and Uber changed the entire transport industry, or maybe Airbnb changed the hospitality industry, that has really been phenomenal, right? You can maybe request for a cab in a city where Ola has a service just by standing there and opening the app and all. In earlier version, what used to happen, city used to have a taxi union office where you used to give a call and they used to arrange a vehicle for you, preferably 12 hours or prior, like that, right? Which is not the case any longer with all these new emerged business processes which these companies have come up with, right? But what has made that possible? So the technologies that has made that possible, few of them are these, right? Notable are cloud, AR, VR, AI, ML, big data analytics, mobility, to name a few, right? We call them as this entire process is digital transformation, right? And what is fueling this digital transformation is the technologies that we are talking about, okay? Now, I would like you to actually sit back and check with you, are you really working in one or more of these areas? If you are, then yes, you are on the right track. And if you are not, then maybe you're missing something. And same goes for what you are teaching the students as well. If you are teaching them one or more of these areas, they are really getting groomed for what people are working on in industry or what industry is looking forward from them, right? If not, then they're again going to miss something which, which would not be a great thing to have, right? Because when you're grooming a workforce, you need to groom a workforce for today and tomorrow, right? Because these students which are going to train, they will be in the industry for next 20, 30 odd years, right? So if they are not able to cope up what is required of them today, they will really feel a lot of stress in continuing their jobs. You see a lot of attrition. You see a lot of first timers giving away the jobs. Why? The reason is, one of the major reasons is they're not able to cope up with the requirements of unlearning and relearning. They think whatever they learned in an engineering college or an institution, that should be good enough to get them a job, but that is not the case. I don't even remember what I learned 20 years, 30 years back, right? Because all these last 10, 12, 15 years, 20 years, I've been learning new things, which I have been using in my job. And I don't even remember an iota of what, I read or what we practiced right back then. Yeah. So this is the reason why these technologies or these areas are important for integration in. Yeah. Coming to again AI, why is AI so much of a priority, right? Now, if you see the graph, we basically differentiate it in a different manner, right? Like making AI operational to getting them to be a self-serve analytics and then creating new business models, right? So that's the journey of AI. That's where AI is really phenomenally, it can make a difference. AI is not just about making some models predicting, no. AI actually is about creating new business models, transforming the way businesses are done. That's what AI is for. So if that is the case, I can give you a small example to make my point clear to you. If there are two people, Mr. A and Mr. B, right? And Mr. A and Mr. B are both in the same age group. And let's say both of them are going for a personal insurance, for example, right? Now, in all the current scenario, if they're going to the same company and they're in the same age group, the premium that they'll be paying will be same, almost same, right? Because here, the premium is dependent upon the age of the entrant, right? The insurer. But let's give this example a twist, right? Let's say Mr. A is into A drives his car at a speed of 80 to 100 kilometers per hour. That's an average speed for him. Mr. B drives his car at an average of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, right? So if A and B drives their car for almost 2 hours a day at an average, right? Going to college, coming back from college, it takes almost like 2 hours for them. And so if that is the case, then Mr. A, who drives his vehicle between 80 to 100 kilometers an hour and at an average, compared to Mr. B, who is like, 50 to 60 kilometers per hour at an average, Mr. A is a high risk driver, right? So if I was an insurance company or you were an insurance company and with both A and B are of same age group, and I had some information about their driving behavior, for example, right, which is very much possible. There are services today available, including on IBM Cloud, which can help you analyze a driver's behavior. So there is an OBD port on the car, right, which you can use to stream the data on your mobile phone to analyze the driving behavior of a particular person. How is he braking? How is he taking turns? Is he making strong brakes? Is he using it all of that kind? You can really analyze. So if I was an insurance company, I would not charge A and B the same premium, right? In current scenario, in today's context, what happens is Mr. A is supposed to pay a higher premium compared to Mr. B. Why? Because A is a high risk driver. And if I have to cover his insurance, then I need to understand his behavior. Same goes for other things as well, right? if Mr. A is like, maybe a heavy smoker for that matter, right? Compared to Mr. B. And, he is not actually declaring that on a paper. And if there is a way for the insurance company to know about his trait, his personality trait, they would actually bill him for a higher insurance value compared to Mr. B. And the reason is obvious, right? So AI is all about exploring new business models, right? The way new businesses can be done. Another good example could be, we all drive cars, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, whatever, right? Normally, we have to actually take an insurance policy of a vehicle, right? And the insurance policy will typically last for 1 year. So you pay a premium for 1 year. Whether you use a car, your car or your scooter, doesn't matter. You have to have an insurance. That's a mandatory document. But imagine, when pandemic hit us, right? Nobody was driving their vehicles. No car was there on the road, but still we were paying the premiums, right? We couldn't take it away. And there can be so many more. Right? You're traveling abroad for maybe 1 year of assignment to some other university, and your car is not going to be on the road. Then why do you need insurance at all? Because the insurance is needed when the car is or the vehicle is on the road. So the point is, if there was a way for the insurance company to know whether you are driving or not, right? And if you are driving, then you can take a dynamic policy, maybe for a week. So let's say you are in India to meet your family for a week. So you take an insurance policy or or whatever for a week only. You pay for 1 week only instead of complete year. So imagine that sort of a dynamic approach. This is a new business model that never existed, right? So AI is all about, for the metal, these technologies are all about giving those new business models, transforming the way businesses get done. And that's where AI really has a value on, right? And all that you see about being operationalizing, warehousing, analytics, these are all, on the way to that thing that we want to achieve from AI, right? So that's how, we basically talk about, AI versus IA, the information architecture. So there is actually no AI without having the information architecture in place. And importantly, for that matter, right, the companies currently, most of them do not understand, what is the data required for AI. And that is one of the major reasons for, not having, the way it is currently implemented. And that's the reason people are looking to, accumulate the data. People are trying to make use of the data which is available in some or the other form in decision making, because there is a lot of unanalyzed data which is available, for them. Another good example, another good way to understand is, cloud is not just about using an IBM cloud or an AWS cloud or an Azure or a Google cloud. No, that's not the case today. Today, the cloud is all about like a multi-cloud environment, right? A hybrid cloud environment and a multi-cloud environment. So cloud is all about making use of the best availability, right? So you may have something good from IBM cloud, right? Maybe you find something meaningful from Amazon, AWS as well, right? And something from some other cloud vendor, right? Idea is to make use of all these best possible things and stitch a solution from all those things, right? So it's all about making use of best possible things. So the entire concept of multi-cloud is there, hybrid cloud is there. It's no more like you have to stick to one cloud. So it's really important that people understand the merits, demerits of each cloud service provider, right? From a core AI point of view, right? So there has been a lot of evolutions which has happened in overall AI, right? From the narrow AI to broad AI, and then the general AI, or even we talk about those, right? If we try to basically sort of understand how we are approaching AI in different segments, right? So we talk about having advances in terms of reasoning, perception, and understanding complex problems. From there, we basically talk about having a computing stack that can make AI faster, easier, and finally, where we can really trust the AI, right? So we talk about ethics in AI, we talk about trust in AI, we talk about debiasing in AI, all that sort of. Why? Because from advancing and scaling, we really need to provide the trust in that AI solution, which right now looks more like a black box. For example, again, a simple example is, a lot of these banks today use AI-based solutions, for assessing a particular loan applicant's ability to repay a loan, or maybe, checking his credit score for that matter, right? But the point is, let's say if I've applied in a bank for a loan and then they have sort of rejected my loan request, right? uh, Bank should be in a position to give me the reason why they have rejected me. Of course, if they have approved, then nobody asks, right? But if they've rejected it, they need to give me a reason. Sometime back, they were using AI based application, in US for in the judiciary there for helping the magistrate to take a call whether a particular person should be given a parole or not, right? And the AI-based system was basically trained, with X amount of data, and given the nature of the crime and given the person, the application would actually assist or sort of advise the judge, of what should the judge be doing. But then that was not binding. But the problem is this went on for a while, and later on, when somebody analyzed the results, they understood that the model they actually were using all the while for suggesting was actually a biased model. Why? Because it actually was using a biased data set for getting trained. For the similar offense, it might give a different opinion for a colored person versus, somebody who is white for that matter, right? So that's why trusting AI is something which is an area, very important area in research, where a lot of work is going on. We also have something called AIF 360, right? It's basically a toolkit for analyzing whether, for transparency and trustability in the AI solution, checking for bias and all that stuff. Typical areas where people are doing some work is, these are the areas, in particularly from a trusting AI, it is about fairness evaluation, explainability in AI, all that stuff is there. I'm sure most of you would be familiar with these areas that, we have been working on in, and because I see a lot of research papers coming in for reviews in these areas and other things, right? This was an application which IBM brought in called Project Debater a while back, right? To understand a language, to interpret that, and of course, then construct it into a speech. So understanding the context and based upon that, responding to that was the mainstay of this, right? So it basically provides for a reasoning capability as well, right? Because when two people talk, what happens is, you listen to the other person, you understand the perspective, and then based upon that perspective, that reason, you respond to that, whatever is being talked about, right? So it's how like the way humans talk to each other. And this is the Project Debater, which basically was in conversation with Dan Zaffri. He's one of the, well-known face in debating world, right? So that's basically the benefit of this, right? So let's go further. Of course, we talked about the bias in AI a while back, right? And this was something which really, shook the confidence of people in AI-based solutions, right? And that's from there. People talked about fairness in AI and de-bias in AI, explainability in AI. So I was talking about the AI fairness toolkit, right? This is available. You can go to, it's a GitHub repo, from where you can download the toolkit. You can actually implement using your whatever problem area you're working with through this, in order to check whether there is an unwanted bias in the data set or the machine learning model. So all of that can typically be used, and I'll show you a way how people are using it into this as well, right? Again, this is basically people are using it. I'll not dwell into this. I'll just skip through this, and ever since the pandemic set in, right, the runway of AI adoption really became very shorter, right? Because people were really looking to go to market quickly. The turnaround time should be very less, and this is what really helped acceptance of AI or AI models into mainstream of computing, right? Right from trainings to enterprises buying the AI-based solutions, all of that really got accelerated, in last couple of years after the pandemic, including security, trust, hybrid multi-cloud support, as I was talking about earlier, all of these things. Now, what I'll do is I'll actually take a small break here, and I'd like to touch upon, because I'll go on to something else from here. I wanted to know from you, you have registered on the skills build portal, or you're facing any problem, because the hands-on piece that I will be working on basically is available for this. So what I had shared with you was a mail with a link to this portal, where I had wanted you to register using your institutional mail ID. So if I were coming from, for example, Amity, right? And I might typically have a Amity email ID, right? So I will say test@cgn.amity.edu. Right. So let's say if this was my mail ID and I was actually trying to register, so it will quickly come back and tell me, I basically come from Amity University, Gurgaon, right? And I can simply register, being a faculty, staff, whatever my role is, I'll quickly say that. I'll just pick some random departments. If the executive department is not there, I'll accept terms and conditions, and maybe within less than a minute, I could actually register. So my question to you guys is, for those who are coming with an institutional email ID, was there any problem that you faced in terms of registering here? If there are any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. You can unmute yourself, you can ask. For those who are not coming here with an institutional mail ID, I had requested them to get a pseudo institutional mail ID, which we work through a partner that can again give you access to this platform, right? So if you would have done that, you would typically have got a institutional mail ID with a domain of smartinterns.ac.in. That's a domain that they basically give. And even when you actually go and try to register using this domain, yeah, I think I made a typo there. ec.in.com, one of the domains, maybe.com. So in case you would have done that, you would typically would have got a mail ID, and I had shared a request form with you. This was the form I had actually shared with you, which you would have filled and you would have gotten. So my question to everybody is, any challenges that you faced? Okay. Anything on the chat? Any questions? Okay. No questions.
Sir, most of the participants here are from Amity or the universities, so they must be having their academic email ID.
Oh, great. Then the problem actually is scope of the problem is actually limited. So in case you have done that, I would recommend, in case you haven't done that, please do complete your registration. Why do we want to do that? We want to do that because we want you to actually come and work on IBM Cloud, using whatever example I was telling you a while back to do that. But in order to do that, you will actually need access to IBM Cloud. And in order to get access to IBM Cloud, you need to register here. And after you register here, because IBM Cloud is typically, is in public domain, right? People use it, clients use it, right? So once you, and we do not want you to pay for cloud utilization, right? Because coming from academia, we offer you cloud at no cost. But how do you get access? You go to the cloud tab here. Under the software, there is something called as IBM Cloud Feature Code. So after you register and you log in, you can actually generate a cloud feature code. Once you register a cloud feature code, once you generate a cloud feature code and you register through this on cloud.ibm.com, you actually can get access to IBM Cloud without any cost. I had also shared a link which had the documentation about how do you register, right? So it basically gives a step-by-step approach about how do you register for IBM Cloud once you have generated the this thing. So this is the GitHub link that I've given you. In case you need to take help, you can always go here and see this, how to apply a feature code, how to create an IBM Cloud account, all of that is good. Not just this much, it also tells you how can you download various licensed software from IBM, skills build platform. So from this platform, not just cloud, you can also get enterprise grade licenses for various software available over here, right? From SPSS modeler to iLog Cplex, you can actually get data licenses for all those at no cost. There is no cost associated. And along with that, you can also access various courses on different technologies, right? Whether it's cloud, data science, security, AI, right? So what I would recommend is two things. Please register for this, get a cloud feature code, register on cloud. And second thing is, since we're talking about AI today, I would want you, to also get a digital credentials for what you are learning with me, right? So there is this AI tab available. There is a basic course available on AI. See this? Getting started with enterprise grade AI. So all these content is no cost, guys. There is no charges associated with this. Once you basically complete the course, your badges are made available to you on Credly. Credly is a third party. So whatever courses you do, the credentials, the micro credentials or the badges are made available through Credly. Okay. So for example, once you complete this course, this is what I'm talking about, you will typically get your badge available on Credly. Now, this is my Credly dashboard, which is coming up. So this is my dashboard where all my badges are available over here, right? In different domains. So see this. Once I completed my AI course, the one that I'm showing, this is the badge I would have got. But the important part is, just by getting this foundational badge, you can actually ask your students to also do this. I can actually know what are the various job titles that I can apply to just by this foundational course. Not only that, there are also available the various job roles and the opportunities available in different cities. See this? Just by doing that one foundational badge. And if I do more advanced courses, there are a lot more of job opportunities or job roles that I can qualify from over here, right? So that's the point I'm trying to make, right? Once you basically complete these courses or your student completes these courses, they can make use of these badges. And these badges you can even download the certificates or the badges. You can use it on your social media handles or your resumes or wherever you want, right? So that's a reason. It's basically two ways you can leverage it. There is another way to leverage it as well, right? You can actually have these learning journeys also available for you, right? See this? This is the foundational course followed by intermediate and advanced course on AI, and same goes for all other areas. For example, if you're interested in data science, right? So again, there is a foundational course and then there is a intermediate advanced course. Right? These are all self-paced. It's for you and as well as your students. And there is no charges associated with whatever, because these are part of IBM CSR now. Okay. So I would really suggest that you guys, take these up. You take these up. You can ask the students to take it up, make use of these. So for today's sake, let's do two things. One, you can take up this course. It's only a 5-hour self-learning course. You can do it at your own pace. 10 minutes today, half an hour tomorrow. You can come back after a week, like that. And second is, use the cloud feature code to get access to IBM Cloud. So any questions? Let me quickly check the chat window. Okay.
No questions till now.
So there is a question from Dr. Shweta Tripathi that after clicking create account, it is not proceeding forward.
I'm actually trying to see your snapshot, but then it is not showing me. Let's see what it is talking about.
One question.
Actually,
Dr. Shweta, are you able to unmute yourself?
okay, I think you're using a.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I have filled all the details, and after clicking the create account, nothing is moving forward. Like the account is not being created, and I have tried it multiple times, like 6, 7 times. The OTP has come to my account, CGN account.
Which account are you talking about? The
Tried
skills
my Gmail
account or the cloud account? You're basically required to create 2 accounts. One is on the skills build. You register here before you actually go. So after you register here, you generate a cloud feature code, and then you register on cloud.ibm.com. Right? See this? These are the various steps to create a cloud account. It will ask you for a feature code at a certain point. I'll just show that to you. It's just loading for me. The snapshot will just come over here. So which stage are you not able to register? If you can tell me, that will be.
Yes. From here only, I tried to create an account. Filled all the document. Yes, account information filled, verified everything. Step 4 is done. Yes, this one is done.
Okay, good. So after you are done,
Yes, this is also done.
Yeah, so you would have done this, you verified the account, right?
Yes, step 5 done.
So that's where when you actually come here and you basically say accept these terms and conditions.
Yes. Here only I was stuck in step 6.
So it's showing some error over here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you change your browser, number 1. Okay. After you are done with this step, this is where I was talking to. It says you can register with a card, or if you have a code to register. So for academia, we give them a code to register. This code will give you cloud access for as long as you use the email ID. You do not need to use a credit card. Okay. So this code is valid for 1 year. After 1 year, you can come back to this skills build portal again, regenerate the feature code. So again, that will be valid for another 1 year. So that's how typically this process is. So you say you register with a code, put the code there. See, in the next one, it will give you the 32-bit code. You put the code here, and that's it. Your account will be created. So ma'am, you change the browser and try again, there.
Okay.
Anybody else facing any problem? Is there anybody who has been able to create an account? You can just put a yes or a no on the chat. Anybody able to create an account? Okay, I see at least 1 yes, 2 yes. Just put a yes or a no in case you're able to, so that we know that we can do something along with you today. Because if none of you have an account, I can just do a demo, right? Okay, great. So there are a few yes as well there. So moving further, I've already explained to you what this is all about, right? So once you get an access to IBM Cloud, this is where I am. I am basically on my catalog page. And on the catalog page, you can see this. I've got these 240 plus services available, across compute, containers, storage, networking, AI, ML, analytics, database, developer tools, IoT, security, all of them there, right? I may not be able to use all these services. Let's be very honest. So what you can use on this platform, typically all the services which are having a light plan and which are free. Okay. So these are the 2 segments of services which you can use. So let's be very clear about the expectations. So there are like 70 services available, and these are the categories, right? In AI, ML, you've got 16, analytics, you've got 4. You can use 4 compute services, containers, logging, monitoring, IoT. You can use all of those services. Okay. So today, what we'll be focusing on is we'll be focusing on the AI ML services available on IBM Cloud that you can make use of. Okay. one more thing, please try to understand. On cloud, there are some best practices whenever you're using any services. So it's like cloud, as you might be hearing often, right? You pay for what you use, right? For example, you took an auto rickshaw, and as long as the meter for auto is running, you will be paying the bills. So whether you are asking an auto to do a waiting for you, you went inside a restaurant, picked up a coffee, came back. So all the while the engine was, the meter was running, right? So you're liable to pay for that. So in this case, you're not supposed to pay anything, okay? But what happens is you have something like a prepaid account for every month. I'll give you a small example before I delve into how to use it. The reason is you should know how to use that before you start using it, right? So that you can make use of the service in a more justified manner. So for example, this Watson Studio, right? It basically comes with 20 CUH per month, right? So whatever you are doing, in terms of computing, creating models, all of that typically should be 20 CUH. So if you are not using a service, for example, whatever demo I'm giving you today, after I do the demo, I'll either stop the service or I will delete the service. Why? You do not want your auto to be running idle and the meter is on, because you'll have to pay for it. In our case, we'll not have to pay, but the hours will actually get accumulated, which I don't want to use, right? See this? I've got 10 capacity unit hours as a monthly limit for me, right? So I basically want to use, and this is every month it will actually, automatically be added to my account, right? But in a month I can use 10 CUH, 20 CUH hours in this case. And same goes for all the services, by the way, right? So just telling you a good, best practice whenever you're using the cloud. When you're creating a service, work with it. If you are not using or you're signing off for the day, either you stop the service or delete the service. Why? Because you're not production environment. You're not using a production environment that people are going to hit your application and it will, that's not the case. So what are the various services available? So one is Watson Assistant, right? Using which you can create your conversational chatbots, which you can integrate into any application or social media platforms, wherever you want, right? It's an engine which can help you to create a chatbots, right? We'll go into Watson Studio in a while. Then you have a few more services from IBM and even from partners like Bespoken and all, right? Then there is a service called Knowledge Studio. There is a language translator, natural language understanding.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can I share my screen? I'm lacking something.
Oh, okay.
Or let me share the screenshot. Where exactly I have to start?
No, you can share your screen. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Are you able to see?
It's coming up for me, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, is it visible to you now?
Yeah, ma'am, it's visible to me.
So we are starting for the getting started with enterprise grade AI, right?
Right, of course.
So I have to click here.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Then I have to log in.
Yeah, in case you would have logged in earlier, then good. If not, you can now do that, right? Just use your mail
doing
ID.
It from my GGN ID.
Right.
I have submitted it.
Was this like that only earlier? Is that?
Yes, sir. It was. Yes, it was like that. It was taking time.
Oh, okay. Do a bit, ma'am. Use another browser on your machine if you have.
Okay, sir.
And log in into the skills build. Okay.
Okay.
And then open the course. There is no harm in the way you're doing, just, doing it the other way around this time.
Okay, sir. This is another browser which I am using right now.
You are using the URL, which is like, already into a session.
Okay, so I have
Instead
to
of the-
start from the beginning, right?
Yeah, you just say ibm.biz/academy. ibm.biz/academic.
Is it the problem with the net speed or something else, sir?
I can open the website quickly. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
it's opening now. Yeah.
So click on already registered login. No, don't do that.
No? Okay.
Just click on login. You already registered, right?
Yeah, yeah. Why is it asking again?
It's for double, two-factor security.
Okay. Verify.
No. It will be there in the mail, ma'am.
Acha. Oh, yeah. It is there in the mail, right?
Yeah, yes. You have to actually see it there. Copy paste it from there. No, just the last 6 digits, 6 to 8. Just accept the cookies so that this window goes away. Can you just flip to the previous browser? Is it still showing the same processing?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Same.
this is because this email ID needs to be whitelisted, ma'am. So what I can do is, I can ask my team today evening, because it's a US-based team.
Okay, sir.
ggn.amity.edu, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I'll actually, get them to whitelist this. Then this will not be a problem. So right now, this mail ID needs to get whitelisted. That's why it's giving you a problem.
So, sir, please tell me the next step. So, what page will open and then how to proceed? Once again, please come to that point.
The same window will open, ma'am, that page where you were there taking the course.
Okay.
Let me show you my window then, okay? That will help you with the next steps, right? Let me share with you my window. I'll sign in to show you how it looks like, okay?
I guess in the meantime, if any participant has reached up to that window, please write yes in the chat box. Has any participant opened the window?
Manoj Pandeyji, you are actually correct. You already signed in, so you're at the right place there. So I'm trying to sign in into my account. It will ask me for a few more things than what it asks you. See, you may face this kind of challenge. The reason for this is, I may have used multiple mail IDs on the same browser. So, so I need to clear my cookies for that matter. Okay. So this is a problem you would encounter, when you're using the same machine for multiple things, that it will not actually allow you directly to go there. You can always clean those cookies and you can come back again there. Or you can change an alternate browser. So I'll just say login. So to basically redirect me to my corporate SSO, right? Because this is a corporate account. In your case, it may not redirect you to that. Yeah, see, it'll actually take me to here. Okay, now let me give me a second. I'll just change this. Okay, see, it also happens, you can also get this thing. So after a year, I would need to recertify that I'm using the same mail ID again, right? So good that all this is coming so that you can be acquitted that these are all the things which is possible for you to be coming, right? So yeah, say yes. I say all that is yes. It's like re-registration for me also. So I'll say yes. I'll agree to the privacy this thing, and I will say recertified. So once I do a recertify, there would be a mail coming to my mailbox for recertification. And see, I need to validate that I'm still using this email ID so that I can access the content for this portal. Okay, I guess I'm again facing the same challenge that you're facing, because now that I've recertified, my email ID is also not getting whitelisted. So it's basically getting to this loop of identifying it because I just recertified my account. Okay. So we are both saying the same word, so don't worry about it. The email I'll get this sorted. But for now, you can sort of try to understand what will happen. So after I sort of take that course, it will open up in a new window. I'll show that course to you how it looks like. Comprehend.
So do we have to click on topics or lectures?
No, you don't have to, ma'am. You just access the course which I was talking to you about. That will give you the access. Don't worry about those. Okay. That is basically in case you want to, accept something from IBM. That's when, Okay, so let me go to my courses. Still loading. Yeah. So you remember I was talking about the getting started courses, right? But I have a lot of courses in my dashboard, so don't worry. I just come to the one that will make sense to you. Yeah, you remember I told you getting this started with enterprise. I'll just say launch. Yeah, this is the basic course for data science I was showing, right? Getting started with enterprise grade data science. This is the foundational course. So, you just click on this. This will again open in a new window. It's very self-navigational. You don't have to worry about this, right? Just click on the launch. Just see if you have the pop-up blocker enabled. In case you have a pop-up blocker enabled, it will not open. So after you are done with the registration and all, you need to be sure, this just needs to be living. So it says that my course is loading. See this? These are the various modules, right? Topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4. Each topic is like, you just have to go through those topics. Once you complete skimming the content, you'll also automatically see a checkbox here. That means you've completed the topic, right? And you will have these 2-3 modules available there. Series. Each module has a quiz built into it along with case studies. There is a quiz already there. This quiz can be attempted any number of times, so don't worry. And you can come to this course any number of times. This is always available to you. So you don't have to worry if you're not able to get the answer. There are only 3-4 questions in the quiz. If you're not getting it correct, you can, any number of attempts is fine. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. These are the various topics. You just have to actually go on, I'll just pin it at the top. Yeah. So that I can go to the next topic. See this? It's pretty self-navigational. Anybody can do it. And it's a foundational. So it is even, even the students with non-engineering, engineering first year can do it. Anybody can do it. MBA students also do it, by the way. MBA, BCA, all of them do it. So this is all about, how people are using data science. Similarly, the AI one is how people are using AI in industry. The course is all about that, the various use cases, the various tools available, the various technologies available, but it's not into hands-on. The foundational course is not hands-on. The intermediate and advanced courses are hands-on. Okay. So, you can take these courses today, you can finish it. In case you're having an issue, I'll get this mail ID whitelisted today evening. Post that you can come back, you can take these courses. Okay. So it's basically videos, PPTs, some quiz, some flip cards like this, right? So the course is all about this kind of a content. And you can take it at your own pace. You don't have to basically bother about, and it's all self-learning, right? So even when your students are taking, they don't need a faculty support, right? So it'll talk about the complete theoretical part of the particular technology. Right?
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Can I share my screen? Because whatever options that you are showing now, it's not coming on our screen. Can I share my screen?
Your course is loaded, ma'am. Sure, you can share the screen.
Share this.
Manoj Pandey sir, I guess everybody with the GG and amity.edu is facing the challenge. So once we get it whitelisted, you will not face that challenge. So don't worry about it. Shweta ma'am, is this what you wanted to share?
Yeah, this is the one. Sir.
What happened? Tell me.
Actually, I can't see, like, this is the option from where I have to search.
Search what? We are in the cloud catalog, ma'am. We are not in the course thing. That's a different portal, no? You go to the second tab. Go to the second tab.
Next tab.
This is where those courses are.
So we have to click on topics.
Yeah, click on topics.
Okay.
Click on, for example, data science. Scroll down. So see this getting started with enterprise data science. Click on that arrow there. This is the course I was actually showing you right now. Next one. Yeah. Click on the arrow. Click on take the course. So once you have signed in, are you also using a amity?
Yes, sir.
So that means there is no issue with the mail ID, ma'am. Kushbu ma'am, you see, you can re-log in using something. For those of you who do not have an institutional mail ID, see, you can always go and check with the smart interns mail IDs, all these contents that we're talking about.
I think here it got stuck.
Yeah, your course is loading. That means there is no issue with the mail ID, ma'am. Say yes. Yeah, that's it. That's the course. Scroll down and then you can keep going with this, right? Once you complete the course, you have to go and register on Credly as well, ma'am, because the badges will be available on, scroll down, keep scrolling. So, you can click on that after you take the course, no, at the top. No, scroll down, scroll up, sorry. There would be somewhere along, yeah, getting started with enterprise data science. Click on this. Yeah, scroll down. Click on start.
So from here, I can start the course.
Yeah, you can start the course. So scroll down. So this course was created by IBM Research. Yeah. So you see on the left-hand side, that was all the courses I was talking to you about, the module 1, module 2, and all that stuff.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, as you scroll down, just keep scrolling on the right-hand side, ma'am. On the right-hand side, keep scrolling. Yeah, scroll down. It basically talks about the market insight. You can come back again and read it. Don't worry. I just want to show others, scroll down. So after you complete all this course, this is the badge you will be getting. And you can get this badge on Credly, right? So you'll have to register on Credly. Scroll down. Yeah, that's the badge website. Scroll down, keep scrolling. So click on next, which basically talks about the various changes in the course in last the release notes. These content gets updated automatically, right? So you don't have to worry about this. Continue. So it's always updated content available here. Scroll down. I just want to sort of give you that how does the completion is counted. Keep scrolling. Yeah, click on next topic. Scroll down, click on next topic. Yeah, click here. Go to the left hand side now. Go to the left hand. You see this 14% complete? Scroll up.
Yes.
Scroll up.
I can see here 14%.
Yeah, you will also see that particular topic gets covered, right? As in when you are scrolling. You see these tick boxes there?
Yes.
So once you complete these all, boxes there, it'll automatically give you the badge. There is, and these quiz and all you can attempt any number of times. You don't have to worry. Okay.
So the evaluation will be done through this quiz.
Yeah. This quiz is like an MCQ based thing, 2, 3, 4 questions per module. And in third attempt, anyways, we'll get the right answer, if not in first two. So doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you want, you can go to directly to a quiz, and we can see that as well. So that's not a problem. You'll be able to do it.
It's not activated, sir. I think I have
like
to
a game. You
it.
remember, unless you actually cover all the course material for that first module, you can't take the quiz, right? Like that.
Okay.
So you can just keep scrolling down on the right hand side. Just keep scrolling down on the right hand side. Yeah, just keep scrolling down. Yeah. Click on next topic. Yeah, click on next topic. Scroll down, click on next topic. Scroll down. Keep scrolling. I just wanted to come to the quiz piece. See, it basically tells you how industry uses data science. What are the various job roles? What is expected of them? Yeah. Continue. Yeah, take the quiz, right? So this is where, they have this practice quiz. Scroll down. You can take it any number of times, doesn't matter. Click on start quiz. Right, so it's only got 6 questions, right? So you don't need to even go through the content to do it. So just scroll down. Okay, so it's asking what is it's needed. So it says having a curiosity about all things. That should be the right answer, I think, right? Because data science, otherwise anybody can do. And even if it is wrong, well, this is correct, but you could have picked the wrong answer and you could have redone the answer. So don't worry, right? Click on next like that. So I hope it's clear, right? How
Yes,
you
sir.
can take these courses. So there are 4 courses available, ma'am. One on data science, one on AI, one on cybersecurity, one on cloud. And there are a few more getting added, by the way, right? So you can take all of those courses just by your institutional mail IDs, okay? And you can collect all those badges on Credly. Now, can we go further with what I wanted to sort of cover in this session?
Yes. So I'll stop sharing my screen.
Sure, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So guys, anybody else is on IBM Cloud, just put a yes there so that I know that you will replicate my steps.
Sir, I am on that page. Otherwise, I think most of them are facing some problem.
Okay, so no issues. We'll quickly see what we have, and then we have to close this as well. So guys, I am on my catalog page, and the conversation when we started, I told we'll try to do something around this. So I'll quickly share what I'm intending to do now. So all of you have been into AI ML, I think, right? And we all understand the pain of understanding or creating a machine learning model, right? So typically, So let's say I have a problem at hand, right? How do you approach it? So for that problem, I would have a data set, right? In order to sort of create a machine learning or a predictive model for that. So the first thing is I will try to understand what are the feature vectors in my data set, right? And based upon that, what will be appropriate machine learning algorithm for that, right? So let's say if I'm trying to use a classification, I've got 30 plus algorithms available there. Similarly, if I'm trying to use something else, supervised, unsupervised, I've got hell lot of choices in algorithms to basically get it started from. So where do I get a start from, right? What should be, my criteria for identifying a particular machine learning algorithm, which will be a good fit for my data set. So normally it's more like a hit and try, you try playing with a few algorithms, you see the responses, the accuracy or whatever parameter area and ROC curve, and then you sort of play with other algorithms, try to understand which will give you the best accuracy of all the possibilities, right? So this process is iterative, as we all know, right? You will do it for a few weeks, months, unless you are able to identify, the top performing algorithm, which gives you best possible accuracy for the data set that you are looking to work on. Once you have done that, what you do is you typically deploy that model, right? You deploy the model. Why? You basically deploy that model for others to consume it. In industry, we call it as a production ready model, right? So when the model is in production, then people will sort of play with your model. They will subject your model with the data, with the data sets, that they would have, they'll basically try to use that, all that stuff. And once that happens, then when it is subjected to the actual data, the model starts to degrade. So for example, if the model gave you an accuracy of 83% with when you were about to put it there, testing and all that, by the time when you put it on the real data and you are subject to put it work, the model degrades and it starts giving you a lesser accuracy, 60%, 50%, 70%, 40%, like that, right? And that's when you really understand that this model, I can tell you from so many funded researchers, when those researchers were concluded and put into practice, right? They started performing so badly that they have to be withdrawn from the field. Those models had to be withdrawn from the field, right? So that means the entire work basically gone, in all those months or maybe year, particularly from a research scholar's perspective, that all actually goes waste, and then you start to rework again, trying to identify the best algorithm and all that stuff, right? What sort of algorithm you use, what sort of, so all of things. Now, what I'm going to work with is a service called Auto AI. And this service is basically will help me in designing, optimizing, and governing AI using AI, right? So it will work, it will create my models, my neural network models, my model optimization also it will take care of. It will also monitor the explainability of my model, right? So all of that we are going to talk about. Another important thing to remember here is, in any all this process, the data cleansing is something which is which takes a considerable amount of time. Typically we see around 80% or so is the amount or effort which goes into the data cleansing. Data, you need to get your data set ready for getting analyzed, right? This particular service takes care of all of that thing. So I'll just skip a few slides and I'll go to what I'm intending to do. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll basically give a raw leveled data sets to the model. This model will actually do all the pre-processing, imputation, encoding, all, and then it will do a model selection for me. The top K means whatever top 2, top 3, algorithms will give. Then it will do a hyperparameter optimization on top of the top model. It will do a feature engineering. It will again do a hyperparameter optimization, and then based upon that, it will give me a model, and second, I can deploy that model as a web service as well, right? So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I'll set this on. I'll just show you what I'm going to make use of today. Okay, this is the architecture diagram of what I intend to do today. So I will make use of an object storage in cloud. Why do I will make object storage? Because I need to store my data set there, right? I'll use a Watson Studio service, which is IBM's machine learning platform there. This is the file. Typically, it's a CSV file. This can be up to 20 GB, and this file will be fed into a service called Auto AI, which basically leverages underneath, which is called a Watson machine learning. So basically like an engine, right? So in a car, you have a chassis, a body, and then you have an engine which drives the car, right? So WML basically drives this entire car. And then I have Apache Spark underneath, which basically helps me in sort of, creating the model, deploying the model and all, right? So let me quickly go to my cloud account. Those of you who are on the cloud, what I would ask you is, please go to the search bar, or you can go to directly AI services, create a Watson Studio service instance. Okay. So, okay. So Watson Studio, you go over here. I showed you this earlier as well. It will give you a default setting of something. I'll show you what something I'm actually trying to explain to you. So one is to tell you where is it creating the service. Okay. So ensure that you are picking up the light plan because it is absolutely free. Do not pick up any other plan. It will not get created for you. So pick up the light plan. Hold on, looks like I'm signed out. Give me a second. Let me just sign in. I can show you that. Not proceeding ahead after registering. So can you please check if your address bar at the top is doing the pop-up blocker Major General? Because if there is a pop-up blocker, it will not open up because it's supposed to open a new window. So you can check that. Okay, yeah. So I'm basically here, and I can just either do a search right here, or I can go to my catalog and open it from there. Either of the two ways. I'm also a student, so excuse me for that. So I am typically into my AI ML segment, and I'm going to my Watson Studio. So when I try to create an instance of Watson Studio, the first thing it will show me is a location. So it will by default pick a location, something Dallas, Europe, Australia, someplace. Don't worry about it. So what is this? IBM cloud data centers are across the globe, something like 50 plus locations. Okay. Out of those 50 plus locations, we offer something called as infrastructure as a service. Okay, the compute part that you know. What we are right now working is on platform as a service, right? The second part of second service model of cloud. So of all the 50 plus data centers, we do not have PaaS for every case, right? So these are the data centers where we offer our PaaS offerings. So it will pick something from one of those, right? So that's there. After that, pick a light plan. So in my case, I already have a service available. In your case, it will not be there. So you click on this checkbox, and this create button will highlight for you. Okay. By the way, there is a name of the service which by default it has given. You can always change the service name in case you want to, but it will automatically give it some name in case you don't want to change. Don't worry. Click on this checkbox on the right hand side. This button will highlight for you. Click on create. The moment you create this, you'll typically see something like I'll show what it'll show you guys. Now, in my case, my instance is already running, so I can't create it, but you can create the instance. Okay. Click on create the instance in case you have not done so. So I'll show you once it spins up what it will look like. Are you able to click on create? Khushbu ma'am, Shweta ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So once you click on create, this is the window that you will gradually see in maybe a minute or so. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If it's taking time for other location, so that's absolutely fine. Yeah, of course. Okay, so this is what you will see, right? Once your service is done. Once this is done, go to the dashboard, right? I'll just close this window. And I'll typically click on launch IBM Cloud Platform Data. Click on this. It will open up in a new tab. That's the dashboard of the Option Studio service. I hope you're able to follow this bit. So you will see a window like this. There would be a a pop-up. Just close it. Pop-up like this. Close this. In my case, I have a few projects. In your case, you would not be seeing. You just be seeing some black screen over here, right? So don't worry about that. Click on projects. There is a plus sign here, right? So I'll just click on plus over here. It will ask me to create a new project. Okay. Now it is asking me to create a project from a sample file or an empty project, right? So you just click on empty project. Okay. And you give it some name. So let me say I give it a name money. Give this project some name. Okay. Now, okay, it already exists. So let's say money, Madhuka, whatever. Okay. So let's see. Important point for you to notice is over here. In my case, I'm running object storage, which is already associated with the project. In your case, there is no object storage there, right? So, it basically will say create object storage for you. Yes or no? Is it saying the same for you? Associate object storage. Okay, let's do this. One of you share your screen. One of you who's doing, share your screen here. Who can share the screen?
Sir, I'm sharing.
Okay, share your screen.
Thank you so much.
Khushbu ma'am, if I send you something, will you be able to circulate it to all the people in real time?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'm sending a small CSV file, ma'am, to your mail ID, K Tripathi. Can you
Yes, sir.
please forward this to everybody?
Yes, sir. I'm doing that.
Okay, ma'am, click this cross, no? Just close this from the right hand side. Yeah, close this. Click on new project. Click and create an empty project. So guys, I'm basically trying to show you so that you can sort of correlate that what you are seeing is the same thing. Put some name. You can put your name, put some ABCD, whatever you want over there. Okay. Scroll down. Can you please reduce your screen size, ma'am? No, from that. That's good. So now, yeah, good. Just maximize that. Sorry, just maximize that. So see on the right hand side, it says add storage service. Why? Because you need to store the data set that you want, right? So click on add. Okay. So it will open up in a new window, and here we'll create an object storage for storing our data set on the cloud. So scroll down, ma'am. Yeah, scroll down on the left hand side. here you will see a light. Yeah, click on light plan, light. Yeah. So you can actually have a 25 GB storage at no cost with this service on the cloud. And then click on create on the right hand side. Right hand side, create button. Yeah. So what we are doing is we are basically creating an object storage. We can even use some other storage, but the default service here is object storage. Okay, click on refresh here so that the project can tie that object storage to your service. Yeah. See this, it's come there, right? Click on create. So what we have done is we have defined a project called SS, and along with that project SS, we have tied up an object storage to hold our data set. I hope others who are able to follow what we are replicating, they're able to replicate these steps. Okay, good. So what we have done is we have created a blank project, right? Now click on assets. Close this.
Select cross.
Yeah, please close this. Click on assets at the top. Yeah, assets. No, on the overview and then assets, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so what we will do is we'll basically add a new asset over here. Okay, click on new asset. Okay, so see this right now. I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to show you. Click on data access tools, ma'am, on the left hand side. Yeah. So you can basically have a connection to a data source from same cloud, some other cloud, even a local machine for that matter. Click on graphical builders. So there are multiple graphical builders available, including dashboard editor, data refinery, decision optimization, pipeline. Ma'am, scroll down. So without writing a single line of code, you can actually scroll down. There were a few more. New asset. Yeah, scroll down here in the right hand tab. Why are you going out?
I think screen resolution is creating a problem.
Just scroll down. No, ma'am, there is a bar on the right. Yeah, there is a bar close by. No, just pick that up. Yeah, see this SPSS modeler. So you can actually create a visual flow using SPSS modeler right from this inside, right? Like a drag and drop. You need not write a single line of code, with this entire process of creating dashboard, editing, creating workflows. All of that can be done over here just like that. Click on code editor, ma'am. So you can even have a Jupyter notebook, available, which you can make use of to edit the code, export the code and all that. And then you have a few more component editors available, which you can make use of, as there. Click on component editors, right? So they just close this window, ma'am. Okay.
This new asset window.
Yeah, just close this window from the right hand side, no? All right. Now, what we will do is, for you, you are created in Frankfurt, I think. Manoj Pandey sir, you also created an account in Frankfurt, right? Can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, sir, I have created in Frankfurt.
So when you click on new asset, Pandeyji, are you able to see a auto AI service there?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Can you please share your screen, ma'am? Let's see sir's screen.
Okay.
Can you please share your screen? Yeah, click on new asset. Click on new asset. I can see your screen. Yeah, the right hand side, no, there is a new asset thing. Yeah, good. So you see this automated builders. Okay, good. So just come out of this for a, yeah, okay. Click on Auto AI. Click on Auto AI, sir. So this is what we are going to make use of. By the way, ma'am, have you sent the data set to everybody, Khushbu ma'am? Sir, see this. So as I was telling you, we will need a Watson machine learning instance, right? So right now that service is
Okay.
not there for him. Click on associate a Watson machine or machine learning service instance.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. I have not received.
You're not received, is it?
Yeah, I am waiting for that.
Sir, this one need to be get.
Yeah. So you already click on that service on the left hand side. Click. So we'll associate this service.
Sir, can you check one thing? Like I think like I have by mistake I have opened a machine already, and
No, don't worry. You just click on associates. Okay.
associated. Yes. Yes.
And now click on refresh or reload. Scroll down. You'll see a reload page. Reload button. Yeah. Reload.
Yes.
So try to understand what we are doing. We
Yeah.
actually created a Watson machine learning service. We tied it to this project. And by default, you see 8 CPUs and 32 GB RAM. So
Yes.
this is my compute, which is automatically assigned to the service, right? So normally
Okay.
when you run an AI experiment, the first thing that you feel a problem is, where will I run my experiment? Because I do not have that much of a compute on my laptop or desktop, right? So here on the cloud, that's the benefit. By default, you typically get this service. Scroll up, sir. Scroll up. Give this some name. Give this experiment some name, ABCD, whatever you want to. Ma'am, is there any other mail ID I can forward you this? Khushbu, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I am writing here in chat box.
Manoj. Manoj, sir, can you please put your mail ID on the chat? I'll just copy you also on this.
Sir, I have
Okay.
mentioned my another email ID.
Yeah, I've taken it up. Please put your mail ID over here.
Or either you can send to Dr. Shweta also, ssinha@gmail.
Just put the mail ID over there.
Yeah, I'm writing here in the chat box. And please check your email.
So it's a very small CSV that I'm sending to you. Please download it. I've sent it already. Okay, let's click on create, sir. Manoj, sir, click on create in the meanwhile.
Sir, I have not got your email.
Don't worry, it will come, it will come. You know, in the meanwhile, you just go to the same tab, previous tab, and click on create.
Okay, sir. This one, sir.
Yeah, click on create. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong, you know, because all these mails are bouncing back.
Sir, is it possible to share through WhatsApp?
No, I don't use
No?
WhatsApp on my machine.
Okay.
Um,
Because I am not receiving any email in both the IDs.
yeah, it is bouncing back, no?
Gmail
Sir,
ID is also
should I give Gmail ID?
Yeah, what Khushbu's ma'am is ID is also on Gmail.
Khushbu ma'am's ID was Gmail only. Seriously, why is it doing this?
I am also not receiving in both email IDs.
Nobody has received the mail from me, is it?
No, sir.
Dhal sir, have you received a mail IDs? My mail?
No, sir. I got just verify your identity from IBM account. Verify code only I got.
Sir,
I
have
got-
received it now.
You got a?
Yeah, all of us have received, I think.
Good, good. So Pandey sir, just download that CSV file.
Downloading, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, go to the IBM Cloud account.
I think you have shared me in Gmail.
Whatever mail ID you sent to me, I've shared it there.
Yes. Yes. In Gmail.
Just download this. Okay, now go to that, don't open it. Go to the service that tab, cloud tab that we're working on.
Yes. Browse and select.
Okay, now see this. What we have just done is we just said created an auto AI service. We created a Watson Studio service. We never ever said that we are going to do some analysis. Did we say that anywhere? No. What it is asking, it says, please drop your data files that you want to work with, right? Now click on browser and go to that location where you have the CSV file. Yeah, that's there. Upload this CSV file. Now see, it is ingesting the data on the left-hand side. It is analyzing your data. See, it is saying it is a 25.865 KB data. It has got 13 columns. See this here. And on the right side, it is asking, do you want to create a time series analysis for this data? Say no, because this is not a sensor or something like a data, right? So we don't need that. Now see, it is asking me, what do you want to predict? We haven't said that we really want to predict anything, right? Click on the drop down. Now these are the various fields in the data set: gender, married. So what is this data set about? This data set is about some banking customers who would have taken some loan from the bank, right? So there are various attributes of this data set: dependents, education, whether a person is self-employed or a job, what's the income, all that. What's the gender and all that. So scroll to the bottom, sir. So there is a field which basically says fraud risk. So we are looking to predict, yeah, select this. We are looking to predict whether a particular person is capable of repaying the loan or is a fraud risk, right? Now see this, it has automatically told me you should do a binary classification for this. And the optimized matrix should be accuracy and runtime. Click on experiment settings. But I can always go back and check and still, no, I don't want to do a binary classification. I would like to do a multi-class or maybe a regression. Scroll down. Okay, so now please you can stop sharing so that I can keep sharing and sort of, do this.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I'm exactly what I was basically trying to guide you through. I'm just adding a new asset over here. I've just added a service. I've given the service some name, let's say IT. Okay, I'll associate a existing machine learning service instance with this because I have already running services. I'll just associate the service. And say reload and click on create. I'm replicating the same steps as okay, let me try to close the video because it's sort of okay. Same thing, right? I'll again do a browse. I will give it a data set. Well, basically again say the same thing. Now I want to explain to you what why I took the control is. Now see, I can do one of these classifications, right? Or a regression over here, or even a time series anomaly prediction in case I want to do. I can tell what is my positive class 0, 1. I can actually choose my metric for optimization, area, Darcy curve, precision, F1, whatever I want to do. And then it gives me a complete list of various algorithms. If there is a certain algorithm I do not want it to consider, I can pick that up also. Now, this is what I was telling you. What do I want? Do I want the top 2 algorithms, or only the 1 top algorithms, or top 3 algorithms, or top 4 algorithms? Means from a performance point of view, what do I want them to do? See this again. I can do a fairness evaluation of my data set for bias just by doing a button enablement over here, right? Similarly, coming to the data source, I can just by this one radio button, I can drop all my duplicate stores. So I don't need to do all that cleaning that I have to do of my data. Similarly, for for subsampling, I can use one of these methods for either stratified or something else. For all my missing values with my data set, which is such a big problem, right? How do I do all that imputation, right? So I can pick one of the methods like median or mean in terms of replacing those null values with something which is like a most repeated value. Similarly, I can choose number of vectors for a column. I can choose how do I handle the outliers in my training and data, testing data. How do I want to split my training data, build out data? I can do all of that. In case I do not want to use a particular sort of a field, for example, I don't want that my decision should be biased on gender, whether a male or a female doesn't matter, right? Either of them can equally, be a fraud risk, right? Something like that. Whatever. So I can pick all those. I can leave all those alone. See, this is the experiment details for my model tuning. I can always go back and change it. So let's say I don't want to do any of it. Okay. Let's say I don't want to do any of it and I want to run the experiment with default settings. So when I started my experiment, if you remember, my CUH was 20 hours, right? And since I've been using it for some time today now, so it says 19.63 CUH hours. Now, this is what is interesting part. I haven't written any single line of code to do this. I just told the service, okay, this is my data set. It said, okay, do a binary prediction. It gave me some, that did some, things for me. Data imputation, data cleaning, all that it did for me. And I said, okay, run the experiment, right? So see this, right now it's basically trying to understand the data set. This is the CSV file we gave it to, right? Are you able to replicate the steps along with me? Anybody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm doing this.
Okay. So in on a good connectivity, it will not take more than a minute. But then since I'm on a slow connection, it's taking a bit longer for me right now. But let's wait for this to happen. I can explain this, but then it makes a lot of sense when you see it happening over here. So it is right now at this stage where it is sort of reading the data set. Now it is doing the data split, right? You can see that out there. Now it is actually selecting the top 2 algorithms for me. So so for of all the 30 plus algorithms which are available for, let's say classification, it's picking the top 2 algorithms. Now it's picked the top first algorithm, and after that algorithm, it is basically it picked up a snap random forest classifier as algorithm and it got 93.3% accuracy with it. But it's not satisfied, right? So it will do a variation. It will actually do a hyperparameter optimization on top of the vanilla flavor, but the accuracy did not change. So it went ahead and it did a feature engineering on top of hyperparameter optimization. Again, the accuracy did not change, same. So it went ahead and created another pipeline and did another round of hyperparameter optimization on top of the previous one, but the accuracy did not change. Okay. So okay, what next? So it basically went ahead, and then the second best is LGBM classifier in this case. Okay. So the vanilla algorithm gave it 93.1% accuracy. Okay. Now again, it will repeat the same thing with multiple different pipelines doing, all of that it wants to. Okay, let's see, pipeline 5, pipeline 6, all of those it's basically doing. So LGBM classifier with hyperparameter optimization, feature engineering, and again that is able to give a better outcome as 93.5% accuracy. See this? Now it also gives me a complete pipeline comparison across various attributes, which is such a beautiful chart I can use in my papers, research papers, sort of give this. This is my leaderboard, this is the pipeline which is giving me the best outcome. But the best part is yet to come. Best part is I can save this best performing pipeline as a machine learning model as a web service. Okay, I can publish this as a web service. I can code this web service in my research paper. I can publish this on my website or other places where others can consume my model on the web with their data and get their outcomes, which is amazing, right? So the more people use your model, the more people are going to quote your paper, right? Second is I can publish this entire piece as a notebook. Okay. So within no time, it basically it took the topmost pipeline, and I have basically pushed this into a notebook. Now see this. I have not written a single line of code, right? But the service is able to generate all this code for me. You just have a look at this. This is a proper annotated notebook, with all the instructions and all the code available. What are the various libraries needed? How do you basically have the metadata? How do you create a connection to the WML service to this? How do you create those pipelines? All of this is available. And you can download this, notebook. You can run it on a local machine. You can run it on Google Colab, wherever you want. You can even run it right here. You can run this notebook right here, and maybe you can change the data set. You can change a few parameters. You can change something that you want. So point is, without writing a single line of code, I was able to create, and it's basically given a 4 virtual CPUs and 16 GB of RAM as well to run this notebook to me, right? So that's what makes the current learning interesting, guys, because it really helps you give a new perspective to the way you learn. All right. And this is just tip of the iceberg, right? We haven't started to scratch into it. We just picked one service. We just took one feature there, and we could do so much more, using similar things. So I'll stop here unless you have a question. I'll stop here and yeah, in case of more questions, I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, I think we're good. So you can make use of IBM Cloud. You can make use of the services which I talked about. You can make use of these courses which I was talking to you about: AI, data science, cloud, cybersecurity. You can even include this in your learning, ma'am. In case you would like to integrate into your regular learning. A lot of universities, basically what they do is they offer these learning paths, like, foundational is 5 hours, intermediate is 20 hours, advanced is 10 hours. So they actually integrate this in their regular learning as 1 credit, 2 credit course, including a couple of government universities have done this. So you can let me know, if you're interested in doing that. We can sort of go ahead, have a deeper collaboration with Amity University, Gurgaon, see how we can collaborate more deeper, going forward. So if there are any questions regarding what we discussed, I'll be happy to answer. If not, then I think we are all good here. I'll stop.
Participants, any further queries?
Sir, I want to know one thing, like if by mistake I have executed or run any machine, so how to check and how to stop that? I don't know that.
Okay, good question, sir. So each time you do something, it's important to understand, as I said towards the start, cloud is all about best practices. Go to the dashboard, sir. On the
Okay,
right-hand side, go to the dashboard. Under that, there is a resource list. Click on the resource list. So here you will see all the services that are running for you. So if you duplicate storage, you will see that object storage that you had created. You will see that running over there. If you actually see the AI ML services learning, you will see that Watson Studio that you have created, right? So my suggestion to you is, once you are done with it, please delete the service or stop the service. Okay. For example, I'll go back to my projects tab over here, because I don't want to keep consuming those CUH hours when I'm not doing anything with this, isn't it? It doesn't make any sense, right? So I'll go here, I'll basically delete this project. Why? Because otherwise it will consume all my CUH hours right away. So when I say delete, it will ask me to confirm the name. Now I'll say or I want to stop the service, whatever actually works best for me. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
These are all the sources which are running for me. So for me, there are a lot of services running. For you, it will be only few services that will be already running there for you. Okay.
Any more queries? Thank you so much, sir, for this captivating session. And you highlighted the importance of data availability for artificial intelligence applications, and your discussions of IBM cloud resources was really helpful. And I believe the demonstration of auto AI for model building and deployment will be helpful to our participants, and they will put their learning into practice. So my sincere gratitude for sharing with us your expertise. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Shweta ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Means just for remembering, like, can we get a PPT or a video recording of this session?
You're already recording this session, so I guess you can share it wherever you want to. So you will have. In case you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, sir. I'll be more than happy to answer. See, questions are always welcome. So the more you ask, the more you get to know. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, giving your valuable time out of your hectic schedule. I'm really thankful. We all, Amity University is thankful to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye.
So thanks to all the participants. We will now proceed for the lunch break and meet sharp at 2 p.m. So we have 2 sessions lined up in the afternoon. So see you back at 1:50. Now the meeting will be open till then. So Richa ma'am, there is one more connection with you in Amity. I think you know Sarita Gulia ma'am.
Oh, Sarita, yes, yes, she's my friend from
Yeah,
India.
she is here working as assistant professor with us only.
Okay.
Just now she told me that you are a classmate.
Yes, 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 she's my classmate. Recently I saw her, like Sarita Gulia was there. I was just hoping that if she is the same or some other person with the same name is there.
Actually, she is in participant, so she is not able to unmute herself.
Okay, okay, okay.
She wanted to just connect with you.
Yeah, sure, sure. Actually, she has my number as well. So I don't know why she has not messaged me.
Hi, Richa.
Hi, Sarita, how are you?
Not able to see you. I mean, I can see you, but you can't see me as I'm not
Yes,
allowed
yes.
to start video.
Okay.
Mom has allowed me.
I have allowed you also, Sarita. I think you can open your video now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, Richa, you are in bit Misra. I was not aware about this thing. I was
Yeah,
just thinking that you have you have cleared the PhD from DU, and right now you are in
No.
bits. Okay,
I think
that's
we
great.
last time we discussed about that when I was in VIT Chennai, I guess. From
Yes, right.
after that,
right.
we are not in contact. Yeah.
Okay. So I had just messaged you
Mm-hmm.
on your
Yeah, I'm with
WhatsApp.
the same number. Yeah, I'm with the same number. I
Okay,
got your
fine.
message. Huh.
So nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Thank you, Khushbu ma'am and Shweta ma'am.
So
To
you are
connect
right now in
me
Amity.
with my
Yeah,
friends.
most welcome, Sarita. And so we'll now move for the starting of the session.
Okay, ma'am.
So participants are joining and I think the numbers are increasing. Let's start the session for the today. Richa ma'am, shall we start now?
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you. A very good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Khushbu Tripathi, welcome you all to the post-lunch session of day 2. We are extremely privileged to have among us our honorable guest, Dr. Richa from Birla Institute of Technology, Ranchi, and Dr. Ranjana Arora, Associate Professor at Amity University, Haryana, Gurugram. Welcome to the session, ma'am. The morning session witnessed vibrant exchange of ideas, insightful presentations, and you learned about automation of AI. I believe that in the second half of this plenary session, you will get the opportunity to add more to your learning. With this, I would like to call upon our first speaker of the session, Dr. Richa. Dr. Richa is going to deliver the speech on artificial intelligence-based recommender system and information filtering approach. Dr. Richa is working as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Birla Institute of Technology, Ranchi, Jharkhand, India. About her education, she received her PhD degree in 2019 from University of Delhi, India. She was associated with Bennett University Times Group as an assistant professor from November 2022 to March 2023. She has worked as an assistant professor senior grade 1 at the School of Computer Science and Engineering, Vellore Institute of Technology, Chennai campus, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Since June 2020 to November 2022. She has also worked as an assistant professor in Central University of South Bihar, Gaya. from July 2018 to December 2019. Her supervision experience includes more than 5 bachelor's, master's dissertations. She has supervised 1 MTech student of her thesis. She has also contributed to UGC major research project funded by UGC as project fellow under the supervision of Professor Poonam Bedi. She has published many papers in refereed high-impact journals, conferences, and books. She is on the editorial board of the IJBST Journal Group, and she has published 1 patent internationally in the blockchain technology. With these words, I would like to call upon Dr. Richa. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Khushbu ma'am, for the introduction. And as I have seen already, 2 of my friends, I can say, over there. So I'll start my presentation on the topic of artificial intelligence-based recommender systems. So it's an application of, recommendation is an application of AI only. So the agenda of discussion will be these. We'll see an overview of AI, ML, and then we'll try to dive deeply into recommendation system. The current scenario, how it helps in nowadays, and then we'll conclude our session. So basically, if we are talking about artificial intelligence, I hope most of us are faculty members and research scholars, hopefully. So the point is, whenever we see artificial intelligence, so basically we have 2 names here. The artificial, which is basically human-made, not the natural thing. And the second one is intelligence. When we just combine these 2, we get the artificial intelligence. Basically, whenever we talk about intelligence, then there are few points that comes in our mind. So it's like how we can say that we as a human are, more privileged than the other animals. So we have the ability to think, okay, ability to think, ability to question, ability to analyze the situation. And not only analyzing the situation, we can infer knowledge from our past experiences. If we have some past experiences, on the basis of those experiences, we can transfer the learning from past to present. And then we can, on the basis of those intelligence, on the basis of those, the transferred learning, we can just combine our thoughts and we can just get the idea, solve a particular situation or to solve a particular situation. And if we stuck somewhere, for example, a very, very, very simple example, if we have to solve one mathematics problem, so there are a few things that one thing we can hit and try. So that is also one kind of thinking, that we just combine some stuff and then we can just generate the solution. Apart from that, we have, if we have some past experiences of solving that particular math question, then we can, on the basis of that, we can simply see that, okay, fine, this is the way how we have solved the problem in the past. And on the basis of that, this is kind of similar problems that I am getting right now. Now we can solve that particular problem as well on the basis of our past experiences. So this is what intelligence means. Now we get the intelligence. So we try to implement in artificial intelligence. If we see artificial intelligence, so we try to get involved with those kind of understanding of intelligence, and we try to just switch on the same intelligence to, or we try to transfer the same intelligence to our machine, which can say as intelligent, okay, which we can say that, okay, now this is the time when my machine has the ability to think and it can behave as intelligent. If we have the situation, my machine will be able to analyze the situation, and on the basis of that, it would be able to react on the same way. So if we go through a quick history, so point is, all these things, actually now we have the, all the infrastructures, we have the fundings and all those situations we have. But earlier, when you see, early 1900s era, so at that time it was not that much famous. Obviously it was there, but not with the AI term. All these things actually started in 1950, when obviously the Alan Turing, which on the base whose name we have the most famous Turing Award in Computer Science department. So in computer science field, so he actually wrote a paper. Okay, he actually wrote a paper, can machine think? And after that, he gave one question mark. Basically, that person neither supported this thing nor he opposed those things. Okay, that whether the machine can think or not. So now it actually kind of opened the door of having that kind of area where those people who are in the favor can just put the effort in this same area. So he actually proposed that, okay, this is also one field where we can think of. And after that, we have, slowly, we are actually heading towards where in 1963, we have DARPA, who funds AI at MIT. And at the same time, Stanford also has the AI lab. Okay, so all these things actually started, the base actually have this Alan Turing's paper where he said that can machine thing. After that, we have a major breakthrough in 1956, where this Dartmouth conference happened. And in that Dartmouth conference, this John McCarthy, who is known as the father of artificial intelligence, he actually tossed the coin, this coin of this AI. That okay, now this is one area which has been actually based. You can say this was the base, and on the basis of that base, you can simply go with the name of AI. And now, point actually where this DARPA conference happened, kind of he actually thought that this would be kind of turning point of this area. But for that purpose, he actually invited many people, like from psychologists to the people from mathematics to the people from science and other humanity, every background. He just hoped that this conference will be a super successful, but it actually does not go in his way. He actually thought that it is not very successful, but it actually gave us the base of AI. Then we have many ups and downs, and finally in this era, we have many you can say that we have we are actually living in the era which is kind of says we can say that this is now the era of artificial intelligence. So we have Deep Blue. Okay, we have Deep Blue, that is a chess program which actually defeated in 1997. He actually defeated Gary Kasparov, who was the then that time grandmaster. So he actually defeated our Vishwanath Saranan. So we can say that okay, this is the person who was actually defeated by one Deep Blue that has been developed in 1997. From that time onwards, we have nowadays we have the fundings. Okay, we have many more very fast algorithm. We have GPU. All these the factors are kind of helping us to improve in this area. So the field of AI, we all are research scholars or faculty people over here. So we all know that what are these fields are. So this machine learning is where we are kind of focusing on our machine that has the ability to think, that can work intelligently. We have the neural network. So neural network. So earlier we have the the people who are it's not something new, but yes, now we have all the factors which are in the support of AI recommendation in all the other area of artificial intelligence. We have robotics, we have expert systems, we have fuzzy logic, we have NLPs. So all these areas are somehow crossing each other's path. You cannot say that, okay, I'm only using ML techniques. Obviously, if you are using ML techniques, somewhere you will cross the path of NLP or fuzzy logics or expert systems. So all these are obviously neural network. In neural network, it is like we have how quick our neurons are responding. So on the basis of that, people actually created artificial neural network. So ANN is kind of field where, sorry, ANN is a field where we actually try to capture those kind of fastness, okay, in this ANN from our neurons. So the real life example, if you will say that this real life example of AI, it's Siri, Alexa, and other smart assistants that we have nowadays in our day-to-day life. So there are many things that we can see that there was one viral video where one 5 or 6 year old was actually trying to, or one kid who was actually helping, who was taking help from Alexa in order to just get his or her homework to get solved. Then we have self-driving cars. So nowadays, I mean, there is rather, I think there is any field which is not getting affected by artificial intelligence. Whenever we had a discussion, not actually discussion, when we try to call customer care, first of all, we actually talk with some bots. Okay, and that bot actually just tell us that, okay, now you just have to select few stuff. Okay, this is the few stuff that I mean, what is your actual problem? And then it actually diverts in proper customer care support. So conversational bots we have email spam filters, we have Netflix and Time, etc., which is usually it is actually get influenced by recommendation systems. So Netflix, it's all actually started, recommendation system actually get popularity when this Netflix prize competition occurred in 2006 or 7. So it was one prize competition which has been organized by Netflix, and they have given some data sets, and they said that you have to train you have to make one recommendation systems which is kind of accuracy, very, very much accurate, whose accuracy is better than everyone. So that everyone in the those people who are actually involved in the prize competition. So the prize money was $1 million. So it was kind of huge prize. So from now, from that 2006-7 onwards, there are many other conferences which kind of give you target of solving some particular problem, or they have they are giving you some kind of prizes as well. So there are many Nexus challenges are there. There are many more challenges that has been, they have been influenced by that, and they are tries to get one a proper channel through which we can contribute more in this area. Then we have this machine learning, where we try to make our machine that works, that gain the experiences from its past. So so it's like my machine can also has the ability to think and learn from the past experiences. So this is different from the traditional programming, where we have the input and then we have the program and then we decide the output. In machine learning, we have the input, we have the output. All we have to do, we have to train our system. The types of machine learning, it is broadly categorized into 3. One is supervised learning, where there is a supervisor, okay, who is training us, who is giving us training that, okay, this is how. Suppose you have 50 dogs images and then 50 cats images, and then another image comes that, okay, so I'm kind of, or say I have 3 images, like we have circle, we have triangle, we have rectangle. So I'm kind of I'm just giving the training to my machine that, okay, if you have 3 angles, then you will convert it as you will say that this is a triangle. And then you have the rectangle which has 4 angles and some more obviously behavior, some more properties. And then where there is no angle, then that is circle. So we have 50 images of each, and then there is one new image comes, and then my machine, if it has been trained properly, then my machine will be able to analyze that, okay, this image belongs to the category of circle. So this is how supervised learning works. Then we have unsupervised learning. So in this unsupervised learning, we do not have anyone to train. The machine tries to predict by its own experiences. It tries from scratch. And then obviously the reinforcement learning. So it's like, positive and negative enforcement is attached with the artificial, with this learning. So it's like if you are just checking the assignment of your students and the student is working fine, and they have given their 100% in that assignment, so we actually give them some good grades. And if the student is not following what we have given them as constraints, they have not followed. So at that point of time, we can just give them less marks, or some negative marking is there, and all those stuff is there. So that is kind of positive and negative awards, or some kind of positive reinforcement we have attached with the learning. So this is what we actually discuss in reinforcement learning. So how to act according to the environment. That has been actually, if the machine is learning as per the environment, then it will be rewarded by some positiveness, and if it is not, then it will be rewarded as some negativeness. So these are few libraries that has been they are using. We are actually in some implementation. I'll also show you that how we are actually getting involved with these libraries, where we have pandas, we have numpy, matplotlib, scikit-learn. So all these libraries of Python, it's very, very helpful. Earlier, when I started working in this area of recommendation, it was like all these things you have to do by yourself. We do not have that kind of, few things was there, but nowadays, so everything is already available in scikit-learn, and in some other recommendation. There are many tools which is actually based on recommendation itself. So we have to develop our ability to for the conceptual thing, not on the minor these things. So recommendation system, if you will see that what it is actually. So now I don't think there is any people who available here, or who is not familiar with Amazon, who is not familiar with with the online shopping or e-commerce websites. So this is one image that I have captured from Amazon. So where I have seen that, okay, there are few items which has been targeted by the customer, by the user. So that particular user has purchased one particular item. So that particular item has been bought together with more items. Okay. And on the basis of that, I can generate some kind of suggestions. You can say that customer who bought this item also bought these items. So point is, there are some programming books that has been purchased by my user. And on the basis of that, I'm generating more recommendations on the same area, whether it is algorithm book, whether it is some other data structures book, so which is kind of related to what user has purchased now. Then we have some items which has been viewed by user. Suppose user has viewed 1+8, okay, one mobile have seen, and on the basis of that, again with the same title, that customer who viewed this item also viewed some cases. Okay, some cases I am providing them as recommendations. So frequently bought together, customer who bought this item also bought this. So these are few examples, so which has been taken into consideration if user has viewed some items, and on the basis of that items, I am providing some more suggestions to my user. Apart from that, this is also one more recommendation, where on the title that you recently viewed items and featured recommendations are these. So some household devices, I am providing them a lot. Apart from that, a lot we have to give them as explore more from across the store. So these are kind of recommendations. So what is that actually? This is basically, the basic model, if you will ask me, that, something that we actually have in our day-to-day life, like which movie we should watch. So some movie has just arrived and I just want to see, I don't want to waste my 3 hours in that. So I'll just 3 hours or 2 hours, nowadays movies just for 2.5 hours. So I don't want to waste my that much time if movie is not good. So these are kind of thing that has been derived by many things. That so some people are fan of some actors or directors or some genres, you can say. So if my favorite actor is in that movie, obviously it will help me to go deep dive into that particular area. But at the same point of time, if the actor is not good, I mean, actor is not actually not good, I should not say, it's not, I'm not fan of that particular actor, but director is I'm kind of influenced with the director, so that may change my decision. So at the same point of time, if this is though about movie, so what I'll do, I'll try to see the website to whom I have trust. So that particular, I'll see that, okay, this particular website has rated this to this particular movie that has been just released. So I'll see that, okay, it is just so I have decided that no, I'll not go with that particular movie. But at the same time, with that, I'll see that, okay, they have rated good, so I can give them a shot. So that is one area. Apart from that, we have, we have that, what do you say, that, okay, I have some nearby, in nearby area, we have some new restaurants. So that restaurant, if I want to visit or not, so I'll ask my colleagues, okay, I'll ask my friends that, okay, have you gave a shot to that particular restaurant? So if they still say, okay, you can have a try. So yeah, I'll just, I trust their taste, so I'll give them a shot. So that is what basic idea of recommendation is. So basically, it's something which we use in our day-to-day life. It is not something which we are not aware of nowadays. So obviously, e-commerce website, there is no single person who is not dependent on the e-commerce websites. So the basic idea of recommendation is, we have the target user, we collect their preferences and ratings, whether it is in terms of proper rating, whether it is the preferences in terms of location, whether it is in terms of timing, whether it is in terms of budget. So all these preferences I will collect and I'll store them in the repository. From that repository, I'll collect the similarity and neighborhood from my local repository and on the basis of, I'll get similar user who has the same taste as my target user. But obviously, if suppose my target user has some set of items which has not been seen or targeted by them, but they have been targeted by our similar user. So we'll collect those not yet seen item. So we'll collect some not yet seen item by target user. And then what I will do, I'll collect them and I'll apply some prediction calculation on those not yet seen item. Once the prediction score is above some threshold, some pre-decided threshold, then those top n item, this top n, maybe top 5, top 10, depending on the system, will collect those list of recommendations and will just drive them to the target user. We'll simply shift them to the target user. And then we'll analyze again. Okay, we'll analyze again that whether the user has liked those items or not. So what our prediction calculation formula has told us to generate top 5 or top 10 or whatever top n items are. So we can think of that there are most of the chances that if user has this kind of taste, then it might be liked by target user these items. So this actually depends on, this is a complete general model. We have many areas through which we can work in this recommendation systems. Okay, so broadly, this recommendation has been divided into 3 categories. We have many more categories, but it has been broadly categorized into collaborative filtering, content-based, and hybrid recommendation. So collaborative filtering is when 2 users share the similar interest in the past, then there is the hope that they might share the same in the future also. So on the basis of that, we'll collect those. Suppose this user is new, so these 2 users we have, and this user shared the similar interest in the past. So this movie has been seen by both of the user, and this movie is something which has been seen by this particular user, but not yet seen by this user. So there are chances. So collaborative filtering believe that if this movie will be given to as recommendation to this particular user, so there is higher chance that this user will see this movie, okay, will like this movie. Apart from that, the content based has a little bit different ideology. They this content based filtering thinks that whatever movie user has liked, so we'll collect. So this movie has different categories. So these categories may belong to different genres, actors, directors, or many more other screenplay, story, editing, and all those stuff. There are many factors on the basis of which user has rated that particular movie. So on those features, you can say. So on those features we are capturing. Suppose user has liked, I have liked one Harry Potter movie. So this is kind of fantasy genre. So more fantasy based movies, say Alice in Wonderland, Narnia, some sci-fi movies. Suppose I have liked Guardian of Galaxies. So all those movies will be recommended to me. Okay, since genre of the movie, it's broad categorization that I'm saying. Genre of the movie is sci-fi or action or comedy or thriller or some kind of fiction based. So all those genres will be collected, and more that particular genre based movie will be recommended to me. This is what we discuss in content based filtering. Then we have hybrid approach. This hybrid approach basically collaborative is kind of, if we do not have enough rating for the user, so there is some kind of disadvantage, you can say, or limitation, you can say, of collaborative filtering and content based filtering. So both of these things, collaborative and content, whatever limitations of these systems are, we try to combine them, and the advantages will be captured, and we are generating one more hybrid area, which is kind of giving us, which is kind of dominating these 2 methods individually, you can say. So we have various challenges in recommendation system in which many researchers have worked in literature, and they are still working in the area. One thing is obviously investment. So nowadays, people are kind of lots of into this recommendation area. Then we have, so a little bit problem is there, still there, but it has been now, people are more focused on this area, so investment is kind of coming. So we can say that start problem is further divided into user cold start problem, and we have another factor, that is item cold start problem. So cold start problem is like we do not have enough information. So cold start problem, suppose if we are talking about mobile recommendation, okay, so in that mobile recommendation, suppose I am the new user, okay, or suppose I have launched one new item, say mobile, and that mobile has some features, but that feature may be according to the user's need, but since it is new to the system, we do not have enough rating for that particular item. So how we can push them as recommendation? That is one problem with the item cold start. Again, the same with the user cold start problem. I am new to the system and the system does not have enough information about me. Then how the system will kind of interact with me, or how it will, without having any information, how it will generate me the recommendation. Even if it is generating me some recommendation, it will not be personalized. Very less chance that how my personalized recommendation will be generated by the system. Then we have sparsity issue. Sparsity issues is, I can give you one example. So if we are talking about Amazon or any e-commerce websites, there is not a single website which has not we have millions of items and millions of users in our system. So how a user will be able to rate million of items, you can say. So even if user wants to rate some items, it will be like very small portion, very small percentage of total available item. It's not at all possible for a user to rate single available item in the every single item available in the our repository. Then we have personalization issue. Personalization have various area. Okay, personalization is a sense that we are not, security is also one issue. So users generally don't want to give you personalized information. So there has to be one bifurcation where so that we can generate personalized recommendation as well as we are not reaching their personal space. So at that point of time, how much questionnaire we should prepare in order to provide the personalized recommendation to the user. Then we have gray shift problem. So gray shift problem, if you'll ask me, so it's something which is very much we do not have enough information, as well as user is very particular about their choices. So at that time we are kind of in gray area, that how we have to generate the recommendation for them. Then we have long tail or popularity bias problem. So long tail is something which we can say that, okay, suppose I have to purchase some mobile. So even if you ask me, I do not know more brands of this mobiles. I know very less amount, very less mobile data. Mobile brands. So like some Samsung, Redmi, we have iPhone. So if you will categorize them, it's not only these many 5 or 6 brands available in the market. There are many available mobile brands, but how we are not getting their names, how we do not know their names, and how we are kind of pissed off will only these many we have these many even if I'll go to the mobile store, they will give me some recommendation. Okay, ma'am, you can purchase these many items, this mobiles, but I don't know about them. So what is that? So we know very less. We have only information about these these mobile brands. So what we'll do, we'll only rate these things. So all these 5-6 brands will always be in this area. They are popular, but is there only these only brands available in the market? No, it's not like that. We have very huge amount of brands which is available in the market, but they are not yet rated properly, so that they are in the long tail, you can say long tail of the graph. They are the popular item which, or they are since we have the ratings, we have the proper review for these mobile brands. So every time whenever new user will come in the system, these items will be recommended again and again. Fine. So this is what the long tail or popularity bias problem is. So there are many research area in the recommendation system. So we'll see them one by one. First thing is trust, distrust, reputation. So trust is something which we actually believe in, that trust is some positive encounter, while some user. Okay, I told you that some websites, I'll just trust on those websites to get more recommendation in that area, in the area of say movie. So this trust, the building of trust is gradual, not at one point of time. If suppose they have recommended to watch the movie, but I have not liked personally, so that trust is gradually decreased at that point of time. But again, they have provided very good recommendation, very good review, and then I like that movie, so my trust will gradually increase, and from the next movie onwards it may increase or decrease. So it is kind of, you can say that it is gradual. So the positive encounter will actually help us that, okay, this is a positive encounter, so my trust will be more. Again, if you are talking about distrust, so another behavior which is kind of negative encounter, so that again I'll say that this is also gradual. So it's kind of one area you can say that suppose one person, I would prefer that, okay, that person will has the good recommendation. If I have to ask for the recommendation of some restaurant, that person is very foodie, so I can trust that person. But at the same person has very poor taste in some, you can say, movie domain or some other way. So I'll not, for that contextual need, it has been contextualized. So for that particular purpose, I'll not say that that person is good, okay, good enough to get the recommendation. So that also one factor which can influence my my trust. So reputation is something which you can say that it is a collective measure. So one example I'll give, if Amitabh Bachchan or Rajinikanth or some this kind of person is advertising, or MS Dhoni is advertising something, so we can trust, we have the trust on that particular, okay, Amitabh Bachchan is doing this brand, okay, so might be possible it is good. So Amitabh Bachchan has a reputation, about there are many people who trust that particular person. So that person is kind of, the collective opinion of users has been converted into the reputation of the user. So this is one paper that we have just done. This is where we actually provided one reputation based collaborative filtering. So what we did, we collected we actually collected many web services. We have collected data from many websites, whether it is from Facebook, LinkedIn, Make My Trip, Twitter, Zomato. So we have collected those data and we have stored them in repository in order to collect the reputation for a particular user. We have user reputation. We have used agents. Okay, so we have few agents, which is user reputation agent. We have item reputation agents, similarity agent, trust agent, confidence agent. So these three factors, okay, trust agent is kind of gradual process. Then for the reputation generation, we have used similarity agent, trust agent, and confidence agent. So collectively, their opinion will result into the user reputation agent. Similarly, for the item reputation agent, we have different factors. So in the repository, we have similarity matrix, we have reputation vector, we have the confidence matrix, we have trust, and all those factors are there. So for that purpose, what we did, target user will request, how the system works, our target user will request the the recommendation. That request will be handled by user agent. This user agent is responsible to connect with various other agents. We have the this is the domain that we have worked is tourism domain. So we have hotel reputation agent, similarity your restaurant recommendation agent, we have the place recommendation agent, and all those recommendation agents we have. So all these, whatever user, whatever agents have the opinion, will collect those opinion, and those collection will be hand over to the corresponding agents. Finally, the calculation, these agents are actually responsible to connect with these repositories. once we have the calculation of all these agents, so we have the opinion of every user. Once we have every user's opinion, then on the basis of that, we'll collect those opinions, and we have the item reputation agent. Once we have the match with the reputation, on the basis of reputation, we are just collecting the collaborative filtering, and for the generation of recommendation, we are using Resnick formula. On these Resnick on the basis of this Resnick formula, we are just converting the same. We are just converting the same in the area of recommendation. Okay, we are collecting the same in the area of recommendation that will be fetched by user agent, and it will be further moved to the target user. Okay, so this is what we have in the reputation-based collaborative filtering. So once we have the proactiveness, another challenge, another challenge in the same area, proactiveness. So it's something that you might have faced in the the proactiveness, like notification, you can say. So if the proper duration, suppose we are talking about the restaurant recommendation agent, I am moving to some area, and I want to have some lunch or dinner in the same area, and I'm getting the recommendation that, okay, these are the nearby available restaurant. So in that particular situation, I'll say that, okay, this is the nearby restaurant, and I have got the information without having user intervenes, without I have not asked, but it has been provided to me. So that is one very good feature of recommendation. So without having user interference, I'll just pushing the recommendation, and if it is the proper time, then user will not get annoyed. At the same point of time, user will get the proper information, so it might increase the user acceptance. Again, at the same time, you have to take care of the fact that user will not get annoyed by again and again providing the again and again they will not get the same information, or some at later point of time the proper situation is not there. So you don't need to push the recommendation every time. So this is what proactiveness is. In cross-domain recommendation, so this is one of the very good feature of recommendation. So suppose we have various domains involved in the recommendation. Suppose one domain does not have enough information, then you can use another domain in order to get the informations, and you can provide the recommendation in that particular domain where we do not have any sufficient recommendation, sufficient data. So it's like, suppose I have, I'm very much interested in books. So, but there is one more domain, say movie domain. So that movie domain does not have enough information. So I have rated many books in the book domain, but I have not rated many movies. So that ratings from book will be converted, will be fetched by the system, and that will be further used in the movie recommendation. And using those, since book and movie is somehow similar, genres are same, and there are many books on the basis of which movie has been made. So those genres and those few features will be kind of used over here in the movie area, and then it can be recommended to me. Okay, the recommendation can be generated in the movie domain. So again, one more very important factor, that is context awareness. So I have been recommended few restaurant which is nearby me, but at the same point of time, if I am asking, okay, this is the restaurant which is like 5 kilometers, and this is the restaurant which is 1 kilometer. So 1 kilometer is fine, but 5 kilometer, if I have to travel 5 kilometers in order to get my lunch or dinner, so it's kind of not a very good recommendation. So this is what context awareness means. So according to the current circumstances, recommendation will be provided to me. Again, if we are talking about group recommendations, so when you visit some coffee shop, or if you are in a group and you try to just explore some nearby area, so at that point of time, group recommendation is something you should in coffee shop, if I'm a fan of ghazals and some Sufi songs, so it's my personal choice. So what they will play, it depends on the mass choice, not the individual choice. So this group recommendation actually based on that particular area. At the same time, I have worked on the same area. So we have the cross-domain group recommendation where what we did, we collected the contextual and demographic details of the target user. We have the repository where we try to get the neighborhood. And suppose we do not have enough information about the user, so what we'll do, we'll try to get the benefits of cross-domain. So how we'll do the cross-domain computation? So we get the similarity from the we have source domain and we have target domain. From the source domain, we try to get the similarity. It actually depends on if the domains are similar or not. So for that domain similarity, we calculate the inter-domain correlation computation. Once we have the the two domains are kind of similar, so on the basis of that, we can get the overall similarity computation between for the target domain. Once we have the enough information, we get the similar users, and on the basis of those similar users, we can create similar users, final similar users. If we have enough information of the neighborhood, we can definitely get the recommendation for the individual users. So since we are talking about group recommendation here, so individual choices in order to generate the group recommendation, one method may be that we have the individual choices and we collect the individual choices and then we generate the group recommendation, which is kind of liked by most of the individual users. So we get the recommendation for the individual users and we apply various methods to combine those recommendation. Once we have all the group of users, then we apply the trust and reputation factor. Okay, we just collect those reputation and trust for those similar users. Finally, the influential users. Once we get the influential users, we then rank the users accordingly. And on the basis of that influential user, we provide the recommendation to the target user. Apart from that, in order to get the trust and distrust computation in the system, we have the cross-domain context-aware recommendation system using trust and distrust. We had the idea that if we will combine the cross-domain and context awareness for the trust and distrust, so the accuracy of the system may be improved. So in order to get that, we have to exploit the rating matrix. This rating matrix will be responsible to generate the inter-domain correlation computation, and it will also be responsible to calculate the trust and distrust between the users. So once we have the collective opinion about the neighborhood from trusted user and the inter-domain correlation, which will further give us the similarity between the users, we will combine them in order to generate the prediction score for the not yet seen items. Once we have those not yet seen items, then we'll generate the list of recommendation for the target user. In order to get involved with the trust and distrust computation phase, we have used three factors. One is similarity computation. Okay, similarity computation is done by Pearson correlation coefficient, the confidence and reputation of the user. Using these three factors, we'll collect our trustworthy users. Once we have the trustworthy user, we'll calculate the distrust computation. The distrust is computed using constant Pearson correlation coefficient, the disagreement between the users, and negative reputation. I'm mentioning negative reputation because it is again not a single point of time will be able to get the reputation. It is the gradual information about the user. So once we have this information, then we have the distrusted user as well. So once we will combine the trust and distrust, so we will get the neighborhood of the target user. Obviously, we are going to include only those users for whom we have the highest similarity score. So apart from that, we have serendipity and explanation. Nowadays, it's very important to get the explanation for a particular recommendation. So why we are getting this recommendation? There has to be some reason. So that reason has been explained in explanation. And suppose you are watching some songs or you are just listening some music, in maybe Ghana.com or Savin or some other some other apps. So once you have the serendipity in this recommendation, serendipity means, okay, so you are only till this time you are only listening some romantic movie, and suddenly you are just some sad songs or some some Sufi songs, so you like that movie, or some old songs, say classical music, or some old songs involved with classical, or some new songs involved with classical, and you like that movie. So that is kind of meaning of serendipity. That is surprise me event. So surprise me event has been included in the serendipitous recommendation. So we have the explanation for the presented recommendation that improves the user involvement, and not only user involvement, it actually improves the user acceptance also. So this is unexpectedness kind of behavior will be able to, this unexpectedness, novelties, and diversity. These three factors that has been used in serendipitous recommendation. We can say that this combinedly, unexpectedness, novelty, this diversity will help us to get serendipitous recommendation. So we have the work in this area. So in order to get the serendipitous item, serendipitous assessment, we actually see the domain knowledge. We have the ideal item identification. So once we get the, in order to compute the serendipity, we actually use 4 factors. One is novelty, another is diversity, relevance, and unexpectedness. We have combined all those 4 factors. And obviously for the product selection, we use fuzzification. Okay, so fuzzification is something that we fuzzify our what basis we have used for the item selection. We have fuzzify those, and we have created our own linguistic terms. In order to get those once we get the linguistic term clarified, and then we have the fuzzification and defuzzification. Once we combine those, so we'll get the final score for the novelty, diversity, relevance, and unexpectedness. Once we get the information, we will get the serendipitous item, and then the list of recommendation will be generated by the user. Once we have the list of recommendation, we will provide the top N items to the target user. So the evaluation parameter that we have broadly used is precision, recall, F measure, MAE, RMSE, coverage, and Spearman correlation coefficient. So all of these are kind of just show the accuracy of the system. The Spearman correlation coefficient is used for the serendipitous assessment, and the coverage is used for the explanation. So all these evaluation parameters I have used. In order to implement the recommendation, we have many more tools, but this is something which nowadays is very popular in this area. So we have Surprise, which is scikit-learn for the recommendation. We have Lenskit, we have CRAP. So all of these specifically designed for the recommendation. I'll simply quickly switch to the one implementation where I have described the popularity-based recommendation. So I have already executed the these codes, so that if some glitch is there, just to avoid those glitches. So what I did, I have used some books recommendation. I'm just trying to create book recommendation. So in order to create the book recommendation, I have used one book domain, and we have books, we have ratings, and we have users. So in the user.csv, we have the ISBN, and I'll just explain that. So in the user head, we have user ID, we have location and age. We have ratings. In the ratings.head, we have the user ID corresponding to ISBN, and from that, for that particular ISBN, we have the ratings, as you can see here. Basically, this user has rated this item this much. So this is what we have in the ratings.head. So the book dot head, we have the ISBN, all the information related to the book. This rating dot head, we have just entered what is the shape of the domain that we have used so far. So these many data we have in books, these many ratings we have, and these many users we have. So this is what we have in the books, rating and users respectively. We are just getting the total sum of the every fields, every heads. So we are just looking for the null items and duplicacy. If we have any duplicate items, so there is no duplicate items available in this domain. So if now what we are trying to do, we are just providing you a popularity. I'm just giving you an example of popularity based recommendation. So popularity based recommendation is something that we try to get the most popular items. So most popular item, it has various other things that may be possible, that user has particular 1 particular book is there where only 10 users have rated and they have rated high. So that will be considered, will that be considered as popular? No, that won't be considered. So it's kind of a biasness that we are talking about. So for that popularity based recommendation, what we are doing is we are only capturing those books or which has been rated, which has been rated more than 250 times. So we are only displaying the top 50 rated books. So in order to get that, how we are going to discuss this one? We have the ratings and we have books. What we are doing, we are merging the ratings and books on the basis of the ISBN, because if you will see the books and ratings both have the ISBN number. So on the basis of those, we are connecting these two tables. So we are merging the books with the ratings on the basis of the ISBN. Once we are done with that, so ratings with name is giving us the total. This rating with name now have the combined, you can say, data of the books as well as ratings. So once we have done that, so this is what your rating with name will look now. So we have user ID, ISBN, and ratings is also there. And so this is book rating. This one is coming from the rating domain, rating table. Once we have the rating with name, now what we are doing, we are calculating the average of the ratings of the books. So basically, we are just group by. We are using the group by function and we are counting those at how many ratings has been there. So we are only selecting those which has been rated, whose average rating is high and has been rated more than 250 times. So for that purpose, we are just getting the average rating. So this is average rating. We are again getting the mean in order to get the average rating for each book. And once we have the total number of times the book has been rated and the average rating, so once we are done with that, we are just storing them in popularity DF. Okay. So in the popularity data frame, now we have all the items which and we are merging it from the number rating. So number rating and average rating. So basically, average rating has the combined, where we have just calculated the mean for the tables, mean for the books. The ratings in num rating, we have the ratings which has been rated 250 times. Only that we have selected, since we are talking about popularity based recommendation. And then we have this average ratings. So average rating has the average. So we are merging those on the basis of the book title. So popularity DF will have this kind of data. So book title, number rating, and average rating. So for every items we have this many. We have book title, we have number rating and average rating. Once we get the popularity DF, after that we have to select only those books that has been rated 250 times, more than 250 times. So what we are doing, we are just using the sort function, and in that sort function we are just saying, okay, num rating which is greater than 250 and sort the values on the basis of the average rating. Once we are executing this particular statement, we'll get the book title, num rating which is greater than 250 and the average rating. Okay, and the average rating, obviously we have used sort function on that, so it is on the ascending order. So Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban is there. Sorry. So Harry
Sorry to
Potter and
interrupt, ma'am. Our next speaker has already joined, so please try to wrap up. And there are some queries also in the chat box, so we will take the queries also.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. I'm just finishing this off. In just 2 minutes, I'll finish that.
Yes,
So popularity DF is something which is we are just getting to more than 250 times it has been rated. And then this is what the top 50 books we have. So as you can see, this is what my popularity DF will look like. And once you are, we are just executing this. So these are the top most movies, the Harry Potter books, and with the rating 428, and the average rating it is like 5.85, and all those stuff is there. So I'll again switch to my slides where I'll finish the rest of the stuff. So so this is some interesting application of artificial intelligence. So nowadays, so if you see the current scenario, so we have like what we see in Netflix, 75% of what we have been seen nowadays, it's based on the recommendations generated by Netflix itself. And not only that, we have the 35% of the revenue generated by Amazon. It is because of recommendation engines. And not only that, by 2025, this is one survey that I have taken from blog. 94% of the customer interaction will be powered by AI. 37% of organizations have implemented AI in some form. So this is what the current scenario of recommendation and artificial intelligence is. I will conclude my session by saying that this is what the areas which has not been, which there is seldom some area which has not yet touched by artificial intelligence. So whether it is education, e-commerce, website, banking, customer service, everywhere you will see the recommendation is just empowering itself, recommendation and obviously artificial intelligence. These are the references of my slides, and I'll simply switch to your queries now. So yeah. So ma'am, implicit, Shweta ma'am has asked that implicit and explicit recommendation system. So it's like in recommendation area we have different kind of the feedbacks that you generate. The recommendation actually take in use. So implicit is something when you interact with the system. Suppose you have rated the some items you have purchased and you have rated, that is considered as explicit feedback. And in implicit is you're interacting and you have seen something by cookies that you are using, we are saving the cookies, subsessions we are using, and then on the basis of that we are just providing the session based recommendation, or you can say that we are just giving you that kind of your implicit interaction will be recorded, and on the basis of that we are providing you the recommendation. So this is what the implicit and explicit recommendation. Which machine learning algorithms can be used for collaborative filtering? So collaborative, what we do in collaborative filtering, it's like in collaborative we just try to combine the users perspective. Okay, user's perspective in the sense ki user have already watched something, and on the basis of that we have we have various similarity images that we use. It's like not only one Pearson correlation coefficient, we have Jaccard coefficient, we have cosine similarity. All those similarity features are there, on the basis of which we generate the recommendation in that area. Not only that, various probabilistic recommendation, probabilistic based recommendation like Bayes and all those Bayes and all other classifiers are also we are using. So on the basis of that, we can all those things we can include in the machine learning algorithm that we use in order to generate the recommendation. The next question is the evaluation matrix. So for the recommendation, so evaluation parameter, ma'am, I have shown that we have precision recall, F measure. So these are some criteria, these are some parameters that we use to find out the accuracy. And not only that, we have further, you can say that the Spearman correlation coefficient we use for the serendipity. I have used that, and some coverage and all those stuff we can use. So basically, which kind of aspects you are touching for the recommendation, that actually on the basis of that we can just change our evaluation parameters or evaluation matrix. So is there any other questions that you want to ask? So I just welcome you.
Sorry, I was disconnected because the light has gone.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm not able to see now any question here in the chat box.
Yeah.
I hope you have already taken a few questions from here.
Yeah, I have taken from that. So
actually, I have a question, ma'am, from you.
Sure,
it is
sure.
not area of interest of mine, but yes, the talk was really very interesting, and I found that the basics were very important when you were telling the thing related to AI-based recommender system. So, ma'am, like here are many challenges in recommender system. So one of them is lack of data analytics capability. So if anyone wants to work in this area, especially the master's students, those who want to do the dissertation, or any new student who want to complete the PhD, how they can cope up with the this challenge, which is lack of data analytics capability in recommender system?
Ma'am, as if you are asking specifically on the data analytics thing, so there are many. Still, there are many factors. I told you about distrust. I told you about trust. So these are something which has not been explored very much. The distrust thing, because again, the lack of data that we have. So we have the data, but how we can the data is scattered everywhere. But how you will analyze those data in terms of this specific criteria of distrust? This is what I am facing personally. So if students are working in that area, that will be very good for them. Another one is I'll tell you that session-based recommendation is nowadays very popular. Along with that, deep learning. I already have a few more implementation that because of the time constant I could not just show you. One deep learning based recommendation I have also explored, which is new to the system, new to this area. So from deep learning, nowadays deep learning is very popular. So we can incorporate that in different areas of different areas of recommendation. And one healthcare domain, if you will specifically ask about domain, healthcare domain is something which is has been explored in the area of recommendation. So that is also one very good area which can be explored in this matter. So these are a few areas the newcomers can definitely explore this thing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your talk was very informative. I hope all the participants have gained from you a lot in this session. So
definitely,
once again,
one more thing, I'm just providing my email ID. If anyone have any queries, and the later part also, so they can just give me an email. Then
sure, ma'am. Yeah. If possible, please share your presentation slides. Some participants are asking about that.
Sure, ma'am. I'll share my slides.
Thank you for your interesting talk and enlightening us with the importance of AI-based recommender system with all the participants, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
to see you more in the collaboration part from the Amity University. Haryana.
Definitely, ma'am. I'm open for that. That is why I've shared my email ID as well. So we'll definitely be in the contact.
Stay connected, ma'am. Have a great day.
Sure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Shweta, ma'am.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So now we have our next speaker, Dr. Ranjana Arora. Ma'am, are you there? I request you please switch on your camera.
Hello, Dr. Khushbu. Am I visible?
Yes, and you are clearly audible too. Thank you so much.
That's great. Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome
Hello,
to the
hello,
session,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you so much.
So can we go
Should
ahead
I-
with your permission, ma'am?
Yes, please. Should I share my PPT?
Yes, please, ma'am. Sure.
Is it visible?
Not yet. I'm waiting for the screen. Yeah, it's visible. Please put it in your slideshow mode. So before starting of the session, I would like to introduce Dr. Ranjana Arora, who is going to deliver the talk on application of multi-objective optimization in engineering and technology. Dr. Ranjana Arora is working as an associate professor in Solar Engineering Department, Amity University, Haryana, Gurugram. She obtained her PhD and MTech from IIT Delhi. She has enriched teaching and research experience of 20 years in various universities and AICTE affiliated college of high repute. Her area of expertise are solar photovoltaic, thermoelectric devices, energy and exergy analysis of thermal systems, embedded systems, multi-objective optimization, and decision-making systems. She has published over 40 research papers in SCI and Scopus Index journals of Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Wiley, and InderScience. She has filed 5 patents of high social utility and applicability in the area of engineering and technology. She has undertaken one DST-sponsored project on women entrepreneurship development program funded by Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi. She is a key resource person in Surya Skill Development Program funded by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, New Delhi. With these words, I would like to call Dr. Ranjana Arora. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khushbu, for your kind words. May I just know, is it in the slide share mode?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is in slideshow.
Okay. Thank you so much. Very good afternoon to one and all. I'm really, grateful to you, to Dr. Khushbu, Dr. Shweta, and the team for giving me such wonderful opportunity to interact with such researchers, faculty members, and innovators from different platforms. And I heartily congratulate Dr. Khushbu, Dr. Shweta, and her team for organizing such, good kind of FDP on research innovations in the area of engineering and technology. Today, I am going to give you a brief talk on applications of multi-objective optimization in the area of engineering and technology. Although I am not from, computer science area, I'm out of the box, but still I have worked in the area of multi-objective optimization. So I thought, why shouldn't I give this small talk to these people, and maybe somebody from other department could get interested in work in this area, because I have already worked and so much of good publications are there in good publications are there in this area. So that's why I thought I should give a talk on this in particular topic. So this is a small glimpse of my presentation introduction, state of the art, application areas, Pareto and decision making, some case studies I have taken up along with the conclusion and the future scope. First of all, I would like to give you the brief introduction of what is optimization. We all know about optimization. Optimization is the best use of resources available to us. So while we want to, this is a very, competitive word, and the best use of resources is the only technique to win in this particular area. So once we are designing anything, once we thought of solving some problem, so many, constraints comes in between, because there are so many objectives to that particular problem. If we tackle it with a single objective optimization technique, only one of the objective function could get maximized or minimized at the cost of other objectives. But in the real system analysis, all the objectives should attain their maximum or minimum possible values for the system to yield the best output. So in this word, the real practice only occurs when we can tackle multiple objectives for a problem simultaneously, and for that we need large number of optimal solutions instead of the single one. All the conventional optimization techniques, they are based on the single objective optimization, and they really give one particular solution to a problem. And this is the main constraint and the primary problem, due to which this concept of multi-objective optimization came into picture, and it gave rise to this particular solution in the area of science and technology. So let me explain you with this particular concept with a diagram. Suppose we have a problem. Suppose we want to design a particular product. So while designing that particular product, we have multiple conflicting objectives. Like we want to have minimum cost, maximum reliability, good performance, and safety. And might be some other constraints also, designing parameters also. So these all are the objectives which are being kept in the mind while designing that particular product. If we want to have an optimal solution out of it, so if we only focus on the cost, might be the safety get suffered, or maybe the mileage, or maybe its performance, or the lifetime. So we have to reach a particular point where all the objective, chosen objective, they actually get a particular solution. They can easily be optimized at not at the cost of any other objective. So that is the concept where multi-objective optimization plays the vital role in engineering and technology and in all the practical problems nowadays. So I take few examples where we have the use of this multi-objective optimization technique, like in engineering design. I've just taken example of a product. So that product may be a car. While designing a car, one wants to have minimum cost, maximum performance, good reliability, and safety issues also. So if we have to design this particular car with all these objective functions, so with this particular technique, we can optimize all these objectives simultaneously. Obviously, in the single objective optimization, maybe the cost is the lowest, but performance may be the poor one. So one particular objective is only being satisfied at the cost of others. But in this technique, all the objectives, all the parameters, they are simultaneously being optimized, not at the cost of other one. So this is the best example in which we don't actually want to have the compromise between our particular inputs. That input may be a material usage, our resources, with the maximum structural strength. So all these objectives are kept in mind, and we can have the good performance with the optimized values. Another example may be the supply chain management in industrial processes. So in the supply chain management, optimization of these particular resources, they conflict with each other, minimizing the cost, maximizing the customer satisfaction levels they're servicing, and minimizing the environmental impact. So this particular technique, if taken up, if it actually takes all the parameters simultaneously and gives the best results out of it. Portfolio optimization, that too being applicable in finance. So minimum risk, maximum returns. So that is our motto. Energy system, because nowadays we all know we are having shortage of energy everywhere. So we are actually running towards the resources which are reliable, which are renewable. So in that particular area, so we need to have the renewable energy planning, whether we can use this particular resource of energy, because how it is going to impact the environment, how it will give the best energy efficiency at a minimum cost. So what are tariffs out of it? So we need to have this energy planning, renewable energy planning, energy planning in every resource management, right? So that particular area is, promising one, and which uses this multi-objective optimization. And I have worked in this particular area. Another very, emerging area is healthcare and medical treatment planning. So this multi-objective is applicable in this healthcare to optimize the treatment plans, consider the multiple objectives such as the patient survival rates, minimizing the treatment side effects, their healthcare costs. So it actually helps in personalizing the treatment planning and decision making. So let me give you, let me explain you with this particular diagram, how energy planning is to be, done with this multi-objective optimization. Suppose we have for generation, the photovoltaics panel. So how the production is to be carried out, what should be the cost, what will be the, you have to take up the forecasting for how many days you will get the energy to generate the electrical output out of it. Then how the home devices will use that energy, what are the timings, what are their, kind of programming that needs to be done, their scheduling. Then what will be the tariffs, rate of energy per unit, how much we are going to pay for that, and their energy plan, how we can sell it out, or maybe we are buying it from the grid. So the complete energy profile that has these, all the, particular objectives can simultaneously be solved, can simultaneously be taken up with the help of this particular technique. So in this particular technique, how the things are to be carried out, first of all, we actually finalize what are our objectives of the problem. Like I have taken few examples before. So we need to take up how many objectives we have. What are my aim? What is my aim and what are my goals for attaining the success rate in this particular product? So suppose I have finalized 2 objectives for a particular problem, product designing, maybe cost and performance. Now, once I will have these 2 objectives taken up simultaneously, and I'll have the equation, mathematical equations for these particular objectives, depending upon the constraint, the values in which they are lying. So I will have this Pareto optimal curve. This Pareto optimal curve is actually, Pareto is the name of a scientist who has actually given up this particular kind of, technique and this curve. What it actually explains, this Pareto optimal curve gives us the optimal solutions, number of optimal solution in this area, so that instead of having only a single solution, we have multiple solutions to a particular problem, and we can choose solution according to our convenience, according to our wish, and according to our, facilitation. Like suppose we want to have a product design. Somebody wants a product with low cost, but performance being compromised. But other one would like to pay more for that and with no compromise on the performance. So the two will have different, optimal solution for the same product. So that is the best thing about it. A designer can choose as many as solutions from this Pareto optimal curve according to the convenience, according to a particular situation, and maybe because of the different constraints which are being given up for the designing, or for the given up for the solutions, right? So this particular curve actually cover up non-dominated solutions. And other than this, there is a scope area for this particular problem, which is actually the dominating solutions. The squares you can see out of that curve are the dominating solutions. And on this particular curve, we have non-dominated solutions. Non-dominated solutions are ones which actually attains their maximum value on the cost of other ones. How we can say on the cost of other parameters? Because I have just explained, the cost is being compromised on the performance parameter. If somebody is ready to pay more, so obviously he'll get better performance also. But if somebody is paying less cost, maybe the performance is more prior to that person. So depending upon my need, designer's need, we can fix up what kind of solution we want to get out of this particular problem. So that is, the definition of non-dominated and dominated solution, as I've just given you. So this is the Pareto curve, and these are the non-dominated solutions lying on this curve, and these are the dominated solutions. On this Pareto curve, we can have n number of optimal solutions for single problem, and we can choose the kind of solution what we want to get according to that situation. This is the feasible reason which actually represent the combination of dominated and non-dominated solution, right? And this particular Pareto depends on the minimization problem or the maximization. Because in certain problems we want to get both the parameters are minimized, like cost should be less, and the particular kind of resource, input resources that are also, that everybody wants, that should also be lesser one. right? So resource management and cost. So these two are the examples of minimization issues, minimization problem, and performance and reliability are the examples of maximization problem, right? So depending upon the kind of problem, this Pareto curve actually gives us the output. I have taken another practical example of air tickets. So somebody wants to get air ticket for a particular place. So there are, one has to trade off between time and cost. If time is more, obviously one has to pay lesser cost. If time is less, one have to, one should be ready to pay more for that. If we have constraint on time, how much time this particular flight is going to take up, if we want to get, commute from one place to another. So this particular example shows we have n number of solutions, Pareto solutions out of it. And now we have to trade off which solution is best for my system. So A, which gives us time and cost, B also, but C gives us the best thing, because according to me, it could be the best for this particular value C, but according to somebody else would say, no, G is better for me. So that depends on your particular constraint, no problem. So that particular kind of adaptability is there in this multi-objective optimization. Now, how we actually go for general mathematical formulation for this? First of all, I have to decide what are my objective functions. Then I have to give the mathematical relationship between my objective functions. I should be very much clear, because this is a kind of accessory, a kind of necklace we have to give to a particular statue. Statue should be very much clear to us. What is the kind of figure we want to design? Whether the figure has to be, having the figure maybe is having long, hands, or maybe shorter feet. So it depends on my particular perspective, how I want to design this particular figure. So the mathematical relationship between the objectives should be very much clear to the designer. And depending upon that particular objectives, we need to have the constraint that what are the range values in between these particular objectives, what are the different range values that actually are applicable for these objectives. So depending upon that, we get this Pareto optimal front, which gives us dominated and non-dominated solutions. Out of this, we will select the best one. But most of the people, they are not able to select which is the best value for my system. So we have decision making techniques for that also. We have many decision making techniques like TOPSIS, lane map, the other decision making techniques also. I've taken few example also. I'll show you. So this is my first case study in which I have taken example of a thermoelectric device. Simply, I would like to give a small description of this thermoelectric device. This thermoelectric device is a kind of device which actually generates electricity when we have temperature difference between two of its ends, right? So we have power output and efficiency as two objective functions for this particular device. Now we want to maximize both. We want to get maximum power out of it. We want to get maximum efficiency. So there should be a particular relationship, mathematical relationship, as I have given in this slide, between these objective functions. Now I want to give the constraints for my system between how much range I want to get these constraints. So I have there are so many other constraints also, but we need to prioritize that. We need to give the weightage that these 5 constraints are the most prior ones, and I want to have these particular values out of it. Putting these objective function and constraints, I'll get this particular kind of polynomial, which will give me such Pareto optimal front. This is a dual objective optimization, means I have taken 2 objectives at a time. So what it will yield me, these are few graphs generated from this particular, what it will yield me, it will yield me different values of efficiency and power output. And 2 very important points, ideal solution and another solution. First of all, I would like to give what is this ideal solution. Ideal solution is the one which is the maximum possible output for these 2 objectives, and we never get this ideal solution. And the Nader solution is the one which we never want to get, because at this Nader solution, both objectives actually attains minimum values. So the practical optimal solution is a fuzzy solution, which I have marked in my graph also. This fuzzy solution is given by this fuzzy decision-making technique, and this is the best solution for these dual objective optimization. Now, this particular problem can be taken up with triple objective optimization also. Like I will show you these graphs. Triple objective objective optimization is the one in which instead of taking two objectives at a time, I have taken third objective also being introduced in the system, like power output and efficiency. I have already taken up one other function, ecological function, has also been introduced. I know these terms are quite heavier for the people because you are not belonging to this particular area, but on the lighter mode, I just want to explain that you can have these particular kind of objectives in for your system also. Just a small example. So this Pareto front is giving me best optimal solutions in this area for these three objectives simultaneously optimized at a time. Now you can see this considerable difference between dual objective and triple objective. That dual objective, the Pareto optimal front was quite longer. That means we have more number of solutions, optimal solutions at a time. But for triple objective optimization, we have lesser number of optimal solutions because we have already introduced one more objective. So our constraint has, shorter. So we have shortened up our constraint. We have given more objectives. So we are getting lesser number of optimal solutions now. And how we can choose the best out of it? We can use Topsis, Shannon, or fuzzy solution decision-making technique through which we can have the best solution out of it. From this triple objective, we can have dual objective, graphs between these two objective functions at a time and give us that can actually yield us the best optimum output out of it. These are, the table I actually obtained from this decision-making technique. So once the designer is confused that what optimal solution should I take for my system? So deviation index is the parameter which actually explains yes, if the deviation index is minimum for my particular problem. So that is not a gold. I would not say that is a golden rule, but that is a kind of, most of the people, they actually go for a kind of solution which gives us minimum deviation index, right? So, but it is not hard and fast that you go for that. Some other designer might go for Topsis solution. Fine, not a problem. The kind of problem actually depicts the kind of solution. So that is the most beautiful, state of art for this technique. So I have taken these three techniques out of which I have got this kind of deviation indexes, and I have mentioned that fuzzy is giving me the best output out of these three objective functions for this set of particular constraints. So now I would like to come to the conclusion and the future scope of this technique. So as I've just mentioned, the constraint, the particular challenge in single objective optimization, that only one objective function can be minimized or maximized at the cost of other objectives. But in real practice, this rule is never being followed. This is hypothetical because we want the best for every best possible output for all the objective functions. So this technique can give me the best particular output out of it. In real practice, we have the practical applicability of this technique in most of the engineering problems, science and technology, daily life problems. So the conventional techniques are quite challenging for that primary reason, and this particular technique give us the optimal solution in a single simulation run, a number of optimal solutions. So it is gaining a wide popularity among the research community all over the world in the area of science and technology, because it gives us the efficient and easy solutions to attain the best possible engineering output. At the same time, we have to be very particular about our goals, our objective functions, because I've just mentioned it's just an accessory. If the designer is not clear about the kind of figure or the kind of product he actually wants to design, the accessory won't work. My accessory would only be helpful in the case if I'm very much clear about my figure. right? So this technique can only be helpful if I'm very much clear about my system, what output actually, what are my goals, as I mentioned in the beginning also. So this decision making is technique which is being applied in this particular area is can give us the best resolution for this particular problem. So, and it has.
Yes, we are back.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am, you are audible.
So I'm just looking at the chat box if we have certain queries.
No, any queries? I'm not able to see any questions here as we were
There could be two
disconnected.
possibilities. Maybe everything is clear or nothing is clear to the participants.
But undoubtedly,
Actually, we got disconnected, so that is why we are not able to see whatever.
Yeah, please go ahead, ma'am.
For the participants, I am sharing the feedback link.
so I think, ma'am, it is finished because in the last moment we disconnected.
Okay. Yeah, I'm, I have done from my side. So if participants, they do have any queries or any questions, they can please raise, they can ask, or they can write.
So I request all the participants, if they have any query, please post it or just unmute and ask the question from the speaker. In the meantime, ma'am, I just wanted to know one thing, as it is not my area, but how the mathematics can be easily, get involved in your area of the research, so that if the student wants to work in the multidiscipline area, how they can enter without having the phobia of mathematics?
No, mathematics is quite simple in this. I have used MATLAB in this particular area. So MATLAB is a big tool, it's an ocean. So so many tools are there. So optimization tool is there. So we just want to have the mathematical equation amongst the objective function. Once we are done with the mathematical relationship, we can use MATLAB for that. No manual calculation or no manual things are required for this. So it's not difficult. But we should be very much clear how our objective functions are related to each other and what are their constraints. Because it's a kind of a training system where we need to train it according to our requirement. If we are not clear, my constraint should have this range or that range, my system is not going to give me a better output, which I want from this particular system. So I have to be, like I told this particular thing so many times, so I have to be very much clear कि मेरे system की constraints क्या होने वाली हैं और उनमें mathematical relationship क्या है. इतनी ही दो चीजें if I get to know, then only I can start with it. And I have so many tools to solve my and can get the optimal solutions. So many tools are there, software tools are there to help me out. No manual
problem definition should be very clear from the
Yes.
initial point of view, so that one can work with the
Yes,
mathematics, and
yes.
it will be automatically implemented in any software like MATLAB.
We need to know the technique. Some
Okay.
technique is to be known before starting work in MATLAB. But it's not easy. It's not difficult. It's very easy because coding is quite simpler in this. No, tedious mathematics is not required to be known for this. Moreover, it's a kind of thing which is applicable in practical life also, like
Right.
in every
Like
area,
we are using
energy
operation
management,
research,
yeah,
and we are using game theory.
yes, exactly. So engineering optimization, your supply chain management, healthcare upcoming, which is an upcoming
Yes.
area. So healthcare also is a kind of area in which this multi-objective optimization is gaining wide popularity nowadays. So that's why I don't think so there is even a single area which is being untouched from this particular technique, and a lot of research work is going on. Every day new techniques are coming up in this particular area.
So in connection with that, the same question, can we also use linear, non-linear optimization with these works, or only multi-optimization will be work?
Yes, exactly. Linear and non-linear optimization, but that is the base of this multi-objective optimization. Now, how it actually is the base of this multi-objective optimization? This linear optimization comes into play when we have linear relationships amongst our design variables, amongst our constraints. And we do know, yes, if this parameter is varying in this particular fashion, so how my output parameter is going to get the variation, right? In case of non-linear, when non-linearity comes into play, it means my designing variables are actually, are not related in a linear manner, right? So in that particular case, we don't have a linear relationship amongst our design variables. So obviously non-linearity comes into play. So we have different technique for that. We have so many actually tools for this. I've not actually mentioned so many of tools. So there are so many tools for this. Depending upon the kind of problem like linearity or non-linearity, we can choose a kind of a tool which could be best applicable for my problem. And there are certain, variations in these tools, not so much. So easily we can train the system according to that.
So for that, we can use machine learning or
yes,
AI also
exactly.
maybe in the research
Yes,
work, right?
yes,
In the
yes,
later.
yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, sharing your
Thank you so
views
much.
with all the participants today. I can see there is no question in the chat box. So I request all the participants to fill the feedback link, which has been already shared with you. If you don't have any queries with the speaker.
Okay, thank you, Dr.
So
Khushbu.
thank you, Dr. Ranjana, for sharing expressing your valuable thoughts with all the participants. It was really very interesting talk, although we all belong from different disciplines, but we come into one umbrella, that is engineering and technology.
Yes.
So I appreciate and I must thank you from all the team of the FDP and the organizing team from the MT University Haryana. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khushbu. Thank you, Dr. Shweta, and the whole team. And today this is a word of interdisciplinary research, right? So when it comes the question of interdisciplinary, so I don't think so disciplines are now being the boundaries. No boundaries are there. So everybody because we need you and you need we people, right? Because without energy and power, your AI systems won't work. Right. So
definitely.
So
we need a collaborative.
Yes, we have to do interdisciplinary research and work together. We can hold hands in hands and we can work together. Okay, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.